Big Mecha. Guys, can you believe it? We finally managed to get to the last live-action Transformers movie. There won't be any more ever again.
It is over. Oh.
Yeah, I was talking. You son of a...
That
And you got me cursing in the first 30 seconds. God.
Even I haven't
I
been
didn't
able to
make
do
you
that.
That was a choice. It was your choice.
It was unbidden. But yes, you were saying before I realized you were talking over me.
Oh, we finally finished Metabots. We're all done. We're moving on to another show.
I could just go ahead and veto season 3 of Metabots.
Wow. Wow.
But I'm not going to, because where would the content be?
Oh, think of the content. You're right. Think of the
content. Exactly.
Yeah.
Guys.
My apologies.
Guys, we are here to celebrate. And I say celebrate and also mourn.
Yeah.
The last live-action Transformers movie.
That is true.
Yeah, for now it is.
So...
whole bunch of rumors, but nothing concrete
Yeah,
yet.
that's true.
Exactly. And until those rumors are actually, official...
Until someone actually gives a
dead.
Release date. And we see posters at a theater, nothing actually counts, because I have... we've all seen how many TV shows and movies get announced, and some of them have even been cast, and then they go nowhere, and 4 years later, they'll put out a press release going, yeah, we got rid of that. And it's like, I forgot you were working on that. Okay, thanks for letting me know.
All I have to say is Batgirl.
Rumors.
All I have to say is Batgirl. That movie was done in the can.
Warner Brothers is trying to put itself up for sale, so,
exists.
That doesn't matter anymore.
That still exists.
Mm-hmm.
So, with them being bought, then maybe it'll come out finally.
Speaking of the rumor mill, before we go into the rumor, let me go ahead and introduce everybody. This is Sean, a.k.a. Kensuketti. With me, I've got our standard co-host. We don't have any other guests with us this time, so we've got Will and Paul. Say hello, Will. Say hello, Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Will.
Hey, Paul.
All right, now that you've done, saying hi to each other, pulling each other's fingers. Speaking of rumor mills, trying to backtrack here, somebody tried to do a troll post by saying, just announced, breaking news, Jared Leto has been announced for the next Pacific Rim movie. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
No.
They're not.
No.
Are they even remotely in talks for that franchise at this point?
No, because the next thing that's supposed to be coming out is an actual TV show.
Really?
So, the one that came out on Netflix was the anime, which takes place after Uprising. This is going to be a prequel TV show, and it's going to be live action, but we don't know anything about it other than that it's prequel.
It's going to explore when they first got invaded and they built the first generation. There's a lot of room in there for human drama.
Yeah.
All I have to say is Jared Leto ends series. He doesn't start them, he ends them. Anytime he doesn't get...
What are you talking about? He was in the newest Tron movie, and Tron still exists. So.
Yeah, but Tron...
How about that, Will? No, did you see that, according to a Disney presser, Tron is being shelved for good? No more Tron movies.
There were only 2 until a month ago, so I was already there. Dude, the last movie was like 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
It's been 15 years. You shelved that series in 2011. You're just letting me know. Oh, by the way, we shelved it. And it's like, yeah, you haven't made any content for it in over a decade. That's how that works.
There was supposed to be.
They tried
to...
Sorry,
Captain Falcon.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that is true.
Still fresh.
I mean, for you, not for me. I don't give a shit.
You don't love...
Falcon!
I mean, I do. I love Lamp.
No.
True.
No.
I've seen your IKEA catalogs.
Damn right you did. Look at the way that little table just displays itself. All wood-like. Because it's not wood. It's just wood-like.
Yeah, it's pulp. It's sawdust and glue.
But guys, just to rein it all back in, we all watched the last live-action Transformers movies called Transformers Rise of the Beasts, also known as Transformers You Were Inside Me. What did you guys think?
I loved it. I loved it. There's things I
He loves it specifically after noting that title too.
I love it, but at the same time, there are things about it that make me not want to like it. And okay,
Okay.
I don't want to like it because Pete Davidson plays Mirage, but he is the best part.
No, he was a grand.
That's what I'm saying.
Part for this.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Davidson?
Yeah, that's Pete Davidson.
They even took his likeness for it.
Yeah, like but that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
He did.
I'm honestly impressed. Good job.
He did so good, but at the same time, I'm like,
Pete Davidson's a good actor.
I know.
It all depends on whether or not you like his comedy, but he actually did a really good job for this.
Yes, that's the thing. It's like, I know I've only known about the BS Pete Davidson has done in the past, and then seeing this, and just how much character he gave Mirage, I'm like, I don't want to like you on principle, but you did so damn good. Like it's one of those things where I'm like,
hold up. So you're saying you don't want to like the movie because you like it?
No, I don't want to like Pete Davidson because
exactly
I like the movie.
So, no, he's doing the separating art from the artist. He has personal issues with the artist who created that work, but he really likes what they made.
Yeah.
So what are your actual issues with the movie then, not the person?
I do have to say,
because remember, we have grilled you on this before.
Yes, I know.
And you were drunk before.
Yeah. Yeah, this time
So I just want to make it clear. There's a difference between the actor and the role.
Yes, I agree. I agree that there's a difference between the actor and the role. I do I do like the movie. My biggest issues with the movie is continuity, and it's the same thing as but it's kind of the same thing as someone who has read the Lord of the Rings books versus someone who just watched the Lord of the Rings movies. If you read the Lord of the Rings books...
So, wait. I hate to interrupt you again, but I don't hate it. But when it comes to continuity, what are you referring to as being, wrong? Like, is it in terms of the Bayverse or in terms of Transformers lore as we know it?
I want to say Transformers lore as we know it, because it just feels wrong, and at the same time, Bumblebee's mask kind of gets to me.
The mask of all things?
Well,
you watched an entire other film. I don't remember you bringing that up.
Because I didn't notice it. I noticed it was different, but I went back and watched the other Transformers movies, and the mask that they're using...
Two strikes at this point. I want you to put up a valid point.
The mask that they're using for him when he goes into his battle form is the one that he gets at the very last night. The one that looks more wasp-like. In the earlier ones, it was more rounded.
These movies are outside of that canon.
These have nothing to do with those at all.
I know that. I know that. But
so why are you mad at that?
That is just one of like the multiple things that I have an issue with. It literally...
That's a personal problem.
That is... You're asking me for my opinion, and I'm giving you my opinion.
I'm asking you to bring up valid points of continuity so I can, try to agree with you, but instead I have to tear you down.
Fine. Valid points of...
You don't have to. That's actually a personal choice.
Valid points of...
No, with the guidelines of this podcast, I definitely have to.
All right. Valid points of issue with continuity is how is it that Air Razor assists them in New York, and then when they get to Peru, she doesn't show up until the very last second when Optimus and everyone is getting their asses torn apart.
You mean when they're on the highway after doing that little maze thing?
Yeah. Okay. And like
that I can understand.
And at the same time, how is it that she How is it that she doesn't know that Primal is still functional? And how is it that every single... I'm sorry, they're freaking... They're Maximals.
All right, so I'm gonna cut you off only because it sounds like you're getting a little lost there.
No, it's
but
my
I do
entire
agree
thing
with
is
you.
the fact that I don't know how, if you're so advanced, you're not able to easily communicate with someone like yourselves. And it's shown already
I agree,
that...
and that's something that I want to get to when we get into the plot, because there's something in particular that kind of hits me with that.
Yeah.
So there are a couple moments in this movie where there were times when I was watching it where I felt like, did I miss something? Like, are you guys going to explain this? And then they would just charge ahead, and I'm like, okay, we're just rolling with it. That's fine. But at this point, you're like, we're 2 movies in, and you're just kind of like doing whatever. And I mean, points for, going... It's like the original show where they just kind of did stuff. I mean, in the original show, they could all fly for no reason.
Yeah.
And then they turn into cars, which makes sense for the hiding, but they can literally fly.
Oh,
all of them.
Yeah.
Actually, I found out about that.
There's weird stuff that doesn't make any sense. We don't question it. We just kind of let it go.
Oh.
I thought it was weird. Scourge shows up on their planet. This was my big thing, was what the hell is going on? When does Primal take place if he's named after Optimus, but he dies on Earth in what would be his past, and Optimus met him, but then what world were they on? And when they went with the transwarp key and they said it goes through space and time, which is a throwaway line because that's how physics works.
Yeah.
You are time traveling as we have this podcast. We're just only traveling in one direction, forward. You are still traveling through time. And theoretically, if you fuck around with like black holes and stuff, it can adjust how fast you go forward and stuff, and that can lead to time dilation, which is where you get all that weird shit in Interstellar. But like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
all they do is explain it away with Air
explain that
Razor.
at
Don't you remember
all.
what she says?
Yeah.
What?
She goes like, "We are your
Past
brethren
and
of
future.
your past and your future."
Yeah, which is a line
No
that
damn
only
sense.
makes sense if you've seen Beast Wars, but this show has nothing to do with Beast Wars.
Yep.
So what are you talking about? Like, was there a whole other version of this script where you explain all of this? Because I tell you what, in 5 minutes at the beginning, none of this shit makes any sense. You introduce a character who never existed just to kill him. His
Yep.
name is Ape Link, which, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
that was a
actually
waste.
exists in
That
the
was a
toy line.
waste. That was a waste.
That
I'm
does-
sorry. My deep
Originally-
emotional bond to a character who existed only as a toy.
It was a
20-something
callback
years
because I believe Ape Link was going to be the original commander, and then they decided to make Optimus Primal.
Well, they probably renamed, realistically. They looked at it and said, we want to tie to the original series, so they called him Optimus. But now he's Primal because they're animals.
Yeah,
It's really simple, but I see what they were doing.
yeah.
The other thing that didn't make any sense was you clearly fucking see that Scourge, though he does not transform, has fucking smokestacks coming
He
out
does
of
transform.
his shoulders.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Not on the alien planet when he's shooting the giant monkey man.
Oh no,
Oh,
not
no.
on that one, but he does on Earth.
Yeah, but when he walks out of his pod at the very beginning of the movie, he has diesel smokestacks on his shoulders. He wouldn't even know what those are at that point in time. How the fuck does he have a vehicle mode with smokestacks? He's never been to Earth. He doesn't
Maybe
even
he
know
just
Earth
likes-
exists.
Oh,
Maybe
I
it's
can
his
answer
form of
that.
cigarettes. Like it's the only way that he can get, some sort of.
No, I can
mean,
answer
we're
that
already
easy.
Stretching it with why are they a giant primate and a giant eagle that only ever lived on an alien planet but took forms very specific to our world?
Yeah.
What the fuck? You couldn't even like low effort it, like on the alien world they all have like the wrong number of limbs. Then they come to Earth and they're like, we should change so that the humans are more comfortable around us. And they
I
switch
didn't
to,
even
like,
think about that. God damn, you're right.
that makes
Ugh.
no
Oh,
fucking
it's
sense.
literally
Power
budget
Rangers did it
issue.
better. Why are you making me say those words out loud?
It's literally budget issues.
Ooh.
It's literally
I know
budgetary
it's budget,
issues.
but it's not that. Okay, no, it's not that expensive when doing CG and 3D to just copy paste another pair and then slave them to the first pair
Oh,
so
no,
that they all move at the same time.
Oh, I'm not talking about that budget. I'm talking about their marketing budget. It's a lot easier for
What?
them to sell just one model versus, like they
Oh,
did to the first
yeah.
movie
If you
where they
look at
did
it that way,
proto
yeah.
and then where they did proto transformation and then they had another one that was their
I
official
had a
land.
Proto Optimus and a Proto Starscream toy, and they
Yeah.
looked janky and weird because it was before they took on human robots.
Yeah, and the proto forms weren't
I
big
can
sell.
see that reasoning. So points for Paul on that
I can
one.
too, and I
But
get that, and I know
from
I
a
know,
movie
it just-
perspective, it doesn't make
it
sense.
feels low effort.
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
it feels like I know it's just 10 minutes, but then you could have you put all of that money into all of that CG, all of this effort. You gave her a robot mode that we never see, and you
Yep.
can only
Why would you have
see
done
as
it?
the toy in a deleted scene that you never made. You put all of that effort in, but you couldn't make them look weird and freakish on the alien planet. And then they get to Earth, and it's in between they turn into well, now he's just a big old ape man and she's just a big bird, and it's I would get that would make sense. On the alien planet they took on some weird looking version of well, that could be a rhino, that could be this, and then they get here and they're we want to blend in more with Earth, and we want humans to we're still giant, but we don't want the humans to fear us. So given where we were culturally, they'd be it's better if they look at us like some sort of animal totem spirit, because that's where we were in our culture as a species. So you can be a giant bird, I'll be a giant ape, we'll be the Earth version of these things, and that will help us to work with the humans more, especially since they said for several centuries, or in actually it's millennia, for several millennia they've been working side by side with humans, so they've lived alongside us.
So I'm going to give you my headcanon, and then I'm going to dive into the details of the movie so we can get into the plot. My headcanon is that Beast Wars already happened. That's why we don't have a full team, but it's an alternate version of Beast Wars where Air Razor is still alive, Rat Trap's no longer to be found, and there's no real Dinobot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. So with the Beast Wars already having been completed, they've already moved on to another mission. And then with that mission, now comes the idea of Unicron pursuing them. And they're like, okay, well, we need to figure out a way. And they're like, maybe the reason they have these forms are because they were already on Earth to begin with. To me, that would make sense if Beast Wars already happened. Which also gives us as to why we didn't get a Beast Wars movie.
I could see that. I could see that.
Okay, so also, side note, I know this is jumping ahead in the movie, but Scourge's face is just Galvatron, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you've
They
noticed,
don't reference it in any way, but he's straight up Bayverse Galvatron. Were they trying to say something, or was that just a fun little nod?
well, if you notice, a lot of the Terracons, they all kind of look like previous designs of other things.
They look like previous
The fact
design
that
of
we've got
Predacon.
multiple Scorponox now,
Yes.
it really bugs me. But
Oh, does it?
That pisses me off so much. I was.
I really want Tidal Wave to come back. He's one of my favorite things in Armada. I just want his big ass to show up again and just everyone to kind of shit themselves.
Tidal Wave was a bitch. He was a big bitch.
Yeah, he was fucking huge.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into some movie details here. So, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. It was released in 2023. It was directed by Stephen Caple Jr., not Travis DeKnight like the last one. So Stephen Caple Jr., what has he done? According to Wikipedia, he did a movie called The Land. He was the director and an uncredited writer of Creed 2. And he's done a couple episodes of Grownish and one episode of a show called Rapture. He also did the music video for Machine Gun Kelly called Dope Man. So
That's probably early in his career.
Yeah, that seems to be everything about him. He really doesn't have much to his credit, which is surprising. But you know what?
Yeah.
For what, I mean, aside from the things that we just complained about, he actually didn't do a bad job.
And I get that some of those changes and things that bother me, I understand why some of these things are brushed under, shoved aside. I get that. And it's also pretty clear, given some of like they gave her a robot mode, then didn't use it. That's a lot of money to put in. So I'm thinking there was a lot of behind the scenes bullcrap that got in the way of creativity and things that could have been better realized.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this feels. Like Bumblebee, they let them do whatever they wanted, made a good movie, and then I think there was turmoil somehow with this one, and I think that affected the process of creating this film. That's kind of how it feels, having seen that happen to other franchises, especially when they're big and they involve a lot of money.
So the next thing is going to be the kind of disappointing part. Let's go ahead and talk about the writers real quick. So this movie had 5 writers with the main scenario story written by a guy named Joe B. Harold. The other writers who I don't have any links to, but you got Eric and John Hober, Darnell Mateer, and Josh Peters. Joe B. Harold, he wrote Awake, which was the one where it's a guy who played Darth Vader. I can't remember. Hayden Christensen. He was awake while technically being asleep on the operating table getting heart surgery.
I saw that movie.
He was a writer for Guy Ritchie's King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Writer for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead and Guzman of the Dead. Writer for Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And then his last written credit for movies was the much maligned The Flash.
But there are multiple reasons for that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that you can lay at the foot of any one piece. Speaking of turmoil, there's a movie with some turmoil.
Oh, yeah.
And he also did 6 writing credits for Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV show.
Oh.
People
Which,
like that.
that wasn't bad. I liked it.
Yeah, people like that a lot.
I like majority episodes.
Incels hate it. But
Incels hate everything.
That goes with the territory.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point.
yeah. It's produced by your standard Bavers, Paramount and Hasbro producers, Lorenzo Di Bonaventura, Tom DeSanto, Michael Bay. And it starred Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback. Anthony Ramos playing Noah Diaz, Dominique Fishback playing Elena Wallace. Those are really the only human characters you need to worry about. Some people you can try to pick off as like some cameos. Like at one point, his mother was Brianna. His mother's name is Brianna Diaz. Actress's name is Luna Lauren Velez. She was the Paul. I know you've watched this in Dexter. I think she's the captain.
Oh yeah, she's the Well, I haven't watched Dexter. I know her more as.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, I know her more as the mom we all love and respect from Across the Spider-Verse. Miles' mom. She voices her.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, she's in her mom phase.
Yeah.
Not that thing. It's just they keep casting her as a mom because she's, at an age where she can play a mom.
Yeah.
So,
that's right, because like in Dexter, I hated her. I hated her character. But at least those other ones, she's been good.
Acting, man.
Yeah. She plays Rio Morales. I just wanted to double check because
that's right.
I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
So Anthony Ramos, here's what he's been in.
So many things.
Godzilla King of the Monsters. He was a random staff sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
He was a filmed recording in a filmed recording of the 2016 Broadway musical Hamilton. Played John Laurens and Philip Hamilton. He was a star of In the Heights.
Yeah, he plays the main
And
character
he was
in that.
Musical too.
Yeah, he got pipes.
And he was also in Twisters, which I did not like his character in Twisters. However, I also did not like that movie.
Yeah, that's
It
not hard.
did not look good. I don't know why you watched it, but it didn't look good.
I watched it based off the recommendation of 5 different people saying, "Oh my god, it's so good." I'm like, and then on top of that, IGN gave it like a 9 out of 10 or some bullshit like that, and I'm like,
Come on.
that's
like,
a
are you
page.
kidding me?
Paid
How
you
is it
for
this
that
good?
review.
Like everything about it looked like shit. And then I'm watching it. I'm like, this is garbage.
I also know him
anyways.
as Mars from the Netflix TV adaptation of She's Gotta Have It, and he was amazing in that. He was in I believe
Yep, it does
all
show him
three
there.
seasons.
He's
All
honestly, he's a
two
good
seasons.
actor. I
Yeah.
liked him in the movie. The things I dislike in the movie are nothing on him and what he brings to the role.
Mm.
I disliked how bleh the first, like, the introduction of his character is very, very boring and by the numbers, and I found it kind of grating because I wanted them to get back to the plot and stop just recycling so many tropes for his character. But after they got past that, I was like, okay, now we're picking up. And then we kept going, and I was like, oh, fantastic! No more of that stupid crap. I didn't need the 10 minutes of setup of he's struggling.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
I
didn't
still
need to.
appreciated it. It wasn't terrible for me.
It's because none of it's new, and it's like it's the '80s. His new boss is potentially
Actually,
racist.
it was the
Oh,
90s.
yay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It was the
1994.
90s. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his new boss was potentially racist. They are Hispanic in New York, so things are tough and hard. They don't have a lot of money. The kid's gonna lose his medical coverage because healthcare was a nightmare 30 years ago and still is. Yay.
Did
America.
they ever explain what his brother had?
Yeah, sickle cell
just
anemia.
Oh, okay.
Sickle cell anemia? They said it out loud? Because
Yeah.
they alluded to it. He said sickle cells, but I didn't know if that was a symptom of a greater condition or
Yeah.
if it was just that he has sickle cell anemia.
Well, they said sickle cell, so I'm just assuming that's what it was.
Okay. Yeah, that's all they name drop. And then they kind of stopped talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I will say that the writing for he and his brother is pretty good. The fact that the unsaid things of his brother calls him Sonic, he doesn't understand that reference really because he's too old. He's a guy in his like 20s, and Sonic was invented like the year before. So like he doesn't really get it. He just knows that's what his brother calls him, and maybe he's familiar with the game, but he doesn't understand that his brother calling him Sonic and referring to himself as Tails is literally making his brother the hero. Like he literally sees him as a hero, and that's a nice moment. I like that.
And we definitely get that hero moment later on.
We do.
So, moving on to the other character, we have Dominique Fishback. She is his companion, not in a romantic way. She plays the archaeologist wannabe, I guess you want to say it, because
No,
she's not
an
a
actual
full-fledged.
archaeologist.
Yeah.
Well,
She is a historian.
she's an
gone
intern.
to school for it.
I do want to say I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
And I
as
do want to say that you said you want to say again.
I know. I do appreciate the fact that they didn't put them as a romantic couple. As, like, will they, won't they? BS.
Not even a hint.
There's
Which was
not
good.
even a hint.
No.
I like the fact that they
Not even.
just made it, oh shit, we are two completely different people who got thrown into this situation and we need to survive.
Nearly died several times over the course of like 2 days.
Yep.
Now, looking at her credits,
Oh,
she
she's
doesn't
been
have
on.
that much, which I'm actually honestly really surprised.
Yeah, she
So
seemed like a
she's got
talented
5
actress.
movies: Night Comes On, The Hate You Give, Project Power, Judas and the Black Messiah, and then her last movie was Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. She's got some more TV credits, but everything stops at 2023. So I hope that the movie didn't like make things worse for her, because like she had potential, she just wasn't the best part of the movie.
Well, her writing was terrible for
Yeah.
like half the film. And this is one of those I'm thinking, if you said there were 5 writers for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can tell. They introduce her, make her look very competent, very smart, but she hasn't gotten that break, like that moment to really like get out there. Having spent enough time around people who've done higher education, that is a real thing. You are incredible. It is very top down. The established professors, the established scientists, all the people who have reputations get a ton of clout, and then you have to like really, really push your way in there and kind of like, brown nose a little bit to like get in and then kind of get stuff. And so her being taken advantage of while very eye-rolly and sucky is essentially how it works when you're in grad school. All of the stuff you do, the teacher above you, the one who you're underneath for like your graduate program, can choose whether you even get to include yourself when they publish the paper, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, but just how it works. So, just to give you an idea of how like top down that can sometimes be. So her being used that way and just kind of accepting it and rolling with it because she's an unpaid, probably, no, she might be paid, but she's just an intern. She's not a full employee. She isn't rolled. She isn't like, been there for years. No, she knows what she's doing. Yeah. She very clearly points out why each of those, like, well, the real one is over at this museum right now, so this is obviously a fake. This is wrong. That's the incorrect language. Just her pointing all that out, and that's how antiquing works in like museums. Like that's a thing they have to do all the time. So she's smart and she knows what she's doing. They then do basically nothing with that for about an hour and a half. And she gets to do something at the end of the movie. But they introduce this, get all of that across in about 5 minutes, and then proceed to do literally nothing with her and spend most of the movie with Noah. And she's basically a MacGuffin with a name.
Yeah, like they basically used her for that one moment when they go quote-unquote tomb raiding.
Yeah.
When they are looking for the transwarp key inside the wherever the Maximal stashed it. And she's used there, and she's used as a little bit of a foil there, for Noah. And then she's used again at the very end of the movie. That's about it.
She doesn't get a whole lot. It's very clear they wanted, which again, feels like we are writing two different movies, guys. Like there was a movie where the entire film is a buddy cop drama for Mirage and Noah, which is a movie I would totally watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then there's a version of the movie where you kind of spread it a little bit across everyone else, and then, Elena's here too, and it's like,
yeah.
It feels like you were writing two different stories, or perhaps 5 different stories, and there was stuff left on the cutting room floor, there were reshoots, rewrites. Yeah, this feels a lot like that. When you get up into a number of writers that high, and this isn't a passion project, so...
I would.
Speaking of stuff left on the cutting room floor, let's talk about the Transformers real quick, because I want to talk about who is and who doesn't speak, or who does and who does not speak. So we've got Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, go figure. Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal.
He pulled it off well. I really liked it. The pensive, I really liked how they had him play it, and honestly how they wrote his character.
So get this, according to the wiki, the character's beast mode in the film was based on an unused concept art that was illustrated for an inclusion in the worst Transformers movie.
Which one's the worst?
The Last Night.
Is that the worst?
I'm pretty sure everyone can agree here that one's the worst.
The Last Night is the worst.
I texted you, how is this 3 hours? Was that one?
Yeah.
It's the one that had the dragon in it and Cogsworth.
Oh, that was the one before. Yeah, but Cogsworth is a gift.
Yeah, Cogsworth.
Yeah, but he doesn't make up for the rest of the movie.
No, he doesn't. He has 2 minutes
Come
of scenes
on.
and really doesn't make up for it.
My bad. His name is Cogman, not Cogsworth, but still.
Cogsman is amazing.
You Disneyed him a little. But no, Cogman was great. So was Anthony Hopkins. He played a weird guy in that movie.
He played something other than what was needed for that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's an entire show of the two of them.
I would watch that.
We would definitely watch.
I would watch that every day.
Him being irreverent and messing around and
Do you remember Anthony Hopkins' death line that Cogman says? He's like, "Out of all my men that I've served, you were the coolest."
Yeah.
That's such a good stupid line. Matches the two of them really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too bad that movie does not contain that kind of thrill or comedy, throughout. Because God,
but we're not
we got Peter Dinklage as Scourge. Which,
wait, really?
Yeah.
That was Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
now,
I recognize his voice right off the bat.
You know how he was, right? So, how he was in Destiny originally?
Mm-hmm.
And that wizard came from the moon.
Yes, wizard came from the moon, which is a stupid line, but that's also a true statement. That's literally how it works. They're on the moon. They took it over. It's a hive.
Well, here's the thing about that. They've also rewritten that line for Nolan North because they replaced all of Peter Dinklage's lines. And he says it the same exact way.
Yeah.
So it goes
but
to show you.
But it doesn't have the same impact.
He didn't have a problem emoting.
No.
So,
He did a really good job of Scourge. I liked pretty much. So there were a few lines. Thinking back, there was 1 or 2 line deliveries by Scourge that sounded like half dead, and I almost wanted to be like, "Hold on, pause. Can we take that again?" I don't know that was the read we were going for.
I don't know, but I did just recently watch the Toxic Avenger remake, and he emoted like hell in that.
I mean, you're gonna play Toxie.
Yeah.
I love the original. I love the original, and I saw the original before I should have ever been able to see it.
Remake, though?
No, I haven't seen the remake. I am literally.
All right, let me try to coax you with this. The remake is basically Naked Gun meets Trauma.
See, that's the thing. I haven't watched the new Naked Gun either. I'm still on the fence about that one.
Oh, I hear it's great. It's full of wit and stupidity.
My dad watched it. I'm still on the fence about it. It's one of those things where I've been hurt so many times by them redoing things that I'm so tentative about watching something new.
There's a new Running Man coming out.
Yeah, but that's being done by Edgar Wright, so
yeah.
Might not suck, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's my line right there. It's like Edgar Wright's doing it. It's more than likely going to be good.
Yeah, I mean,
high probability of it being good.
And if anybody's going to redo that movie, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting at least.
So to finish out the cast list here, Michelle Yeoh as Air Razor.
Mm-hmm.
She sounded familiar.
Yep.
I kind of heard something in there, and my brain was like reaching. I was like, sounds familiar.
Pete Davidson as Mirage.
I hear none of him in that character.
I don't understand how you couldn't, especially when he said his iconic line, "Bro, you were inside me."
Is that really an iconic David's? I have so little exposure to him.
I don't know, but everything I figure about him is usually just something really gross.
I've seen a couple of his, some of his stand-up stuff. I don't know if I've ever watched a full special, but hit and miss for me.
So Davidson described voicing Mirage as Jim Carrey's The Mask meets Bugs Bunny due to his rebellious personality.
Yeah, that's a pretty good description.
Yeah, that's good.
We've got Liza Koshy as RC, which RC standout performance in this. Oh my god, I loved her in this.
So I like that they not mixed, but they leaned in a little more heavily to the comic version of RC, who is essentially an adrenaline junkie that likes to blow shit up.
Yeah.
And then goes a little dark, a little bit in the comics, but we can just ignore that.
I mean, that part where she's opening up
Wheeljack.
What's his name? Wheeljack. Right, so she can avoid the missile, and you could see her mouth. Holy fuck!
Yeah, and the biggest smile.
Back to laughing and shooting at the thing that they were shooting at.
Yeah,
it's like, she's essentially an adrenaline junkie, and she really likes blowing stuff up.
Yeah,
this is that version of her. Wheeljack was weird in this movie, by the way. I don't know how that's any version of that character I've ever seen before.
So Cristo Fernandez,
I love him.
Is Wheeljack.
I love
Cristo
him.
Fernandez was in Ted Lasso as one of the soccer players,
and he's an actual real. Nice. He was actually a real soccer player before he became an actor.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah,
neat.
Yeah,
probably.
So that's where he came from.
Yeah.
He's really good in Ted Lasso.
I love him. Danny
Rojas. Look at him and I'm like, how is that Wheeljack? I don't see anything in the character in this movie that remotely reflects any other version of the character that's exists. Even his design, he looks nothing like any Wheeljack from before. You could have just called him something else. There was no point in calling him Wheeljack.
Okay, hermano. So anyways, John DiMaggio as Stratosphere.
Oh, he got to do 2 robots? Yeah, he's voice actor.
Yeah.
I only heard
David Sobolov.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said I only heard the Bender the second time I watched the movie. The second time I watched the movie, when I found out it was like he sounded so familiar, but it was still a little off. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Bender. Mm-hmm. That's a Scottish Bender.
So we got David Sobolov as Battletrap, who is one of the Terracons who was a tow truck, and he also played Ape Link.
Also played another character in that. But his lines got deleted.
He also played another character who didn't speak.
Mm-hmm.
How? Wait, what?
Deleted
he was
line.
credited as Rhinox.
No, Rhinox said one line.
Rhinox said no lines.
I swear he spoke.
No, you're thinking of Cheetor, who actually did speak 2 lines.
Yeah.
2 lines. 2. Aha.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Cheetor, Cheetor was Tongai Chirisa. I don't recognize that one, but apparently they were on the Jim Gaffigan show.
Oh, I know him.
Mr. Bones 2, Back from the Past, and yeah, that's basically everything that I can recognize.
No, I know he was in
Zimbabwean actor.
Yeah, I know him in iZombie and in Mayfair Witches. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Too bad that he didn't get used much.
It really felt like this movie they didn't.
Got 2 more that I want to get through, so we can try to rush through this.
Okay.
We also have Michaela J. Rodriguez as Nightbird.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, Coleman Domingo as Unicron.
Mm-hmm. Man.
Heavy amount of voice warping, but yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but regardless, Coleman Domingo as Unicron. Now, who is Coleman Domingo? Because that name sounds familiar. Guys, Coleman Domingo was in something that we were kind of talking about before we started recording. He was in The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
He was actually in Fear the Walking Dead, but he's got a lot of credits for his on-screen. Let's take a look here real quick.
That's also something you brought up earlier. He's going to be in the new Running Man. He is the show host for the Running Man.
I didn't even know that movie existed until today. I walked by a poster and went, "Oh, we're dragging that up."
Oh, I saw him in the trailers.
He's in that. He's also in Wicked for Good coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a preview for that today too.
He was in the Candyman remake movie.
That was horrible.
That's only like a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, he's got a lot to his credits, but honestly, it's a lot of stuff that I have not seen, which is unfortunate. He's also got a lot of TV credits. He was in Fear the Walking Dead for 75 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, basically, I'm assuming all the way until the very end.
I didn't know the show ran that long. Is it still running?
No, it's done. It's officially done.
Okay.
Like, if you wanted to watch Walking Dead and Fear, I have them both on my Vudu. Let's see.
Yeah, he was
been
also
on
in Lucifer.
a lot of Law and Order episodes. He was in.
Working man.
Yeah, he is a good working actor.
Roles. Yeah, he does a lot of theater work. Let's see, Journey to the West, Midsummer Night's Dream, Hurricane, Romeo and Juliet, Taming of. He does a lot of Shakespeare. He actually did Midsummer Night's Dream twice.
Cool. Well, that he's credited. I'm sure he's done it more than that. When it comes to theater, depending on the site you're on, they'll only credit a few. I'm sure there are much better, like, really detailed theater archive sites. We just don't go to them because we don't do a lot of Broadway.
So he's done 2 audio plays, and I cannot believe I get to say this because this is fucking cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's been in 2 Batman audio plays called The Riddler: Secrets in the Dark and Batman Unburied: Fallen City. He plays.
I have 2 free.
Batman.
I have 2 free credits. I have 2 credits for Audible. I will be getting those, and I will let you guys know once I'm done. Once I'm done with them.
Cool.
Awesome. That's really cool.
I gotta listen to those. All right, so moving on up. So this movie came out on May 27th, 2023. It's a little over 2 hours long. The budget was for 195 to 200 million. I will comment on that in a second. But box office was 441.7 million. Not necessarily a flop, but it only made double its money back.
Yeah.
And after marketing and other stuff, it
then
probably
it's a flop.
didn't really turn that much of a profit. We're talking like 10, 20 million maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we didn't get another one, and they haven't even talked about it. So.
Oh, they've talked about it.
They made Transformers 1, because that was a much cheaper alternative to make an animated film.
Yeah. And then lastly, it says, for the future of the franchise, on November 20th, 2024, in the wake of the underperformance of the animated film Transformers 1, fuck all of you fake fans, Hasbro announced that they would no longer be co-financing film adaptations of their products, instead leaving external studios to exclusively fund such projects. In 2025, it was reported that Michael Bay was in talks to return as both a producer and a director for a new film based on a screenplay written by Jordan Van Dina, who does not have a link on Wikipedia, so I cannot look them up, and I don't feel like Googling. So, yeah, that's all the details. Okay, I want to talk about budget real quick. The movie looks good, but you know how we always complain how daylight shots they look like shit in the previous movies?
Yeah.
Like, until Bumblebee.
Yeah.
So why is it
Good.
in this movie daylight looks great, but nighttime looks like shit?
I will say,
So
I feel like nighttime shots
I
were
don't.
done
I don't
afterwards.
agree with that.
You don't agree with it? Okay, why?
No. Well, for one thing, it wasn't distracting enough for me to notice that nighttime shots looked worse than daytime shots. I thought the
Oh,
movie
it was
all
very
kinda looked the
distracting
same.
for me.
So what I found distracting was when they would do CG for the characters interacting with stuff, they would only have the character like when they climb. They cared enough to like animate the ground breaking when the characters would like stop sometimes, but then other times they would just not interact with the ground at all. And I know why, because that costs a lot of money. But like there's one scene where Optimus is climbing up a waterfall, Primal, and he's interacting with the water, he's splashing, and zero interaction with the rocks themselves, despite how heavy he is and how much force he's putting into it. And I'm
Yep.
like, I get it, but it's weird that you keep going back and forth. Sometimes they will absolutely trash a roadway by just turning into their robot mode, and then other times they will walk, and it's like they weigh nothing, or the ground is made of just solid steel.
Well, in
And
that
it's
first
like,
encounter that they have with Scourge
make your
in
pick.
Peru, like that is a clear example of what you're talking about, where everything looks like that they're actually taking all the environment into account when
Because
with all
everything
them
in that
transforming
opening
and everything.
shot,
Yeah.
that opening shot is pure CG, so it's all CG interacting with CG. In order to do that when you have shots of the real world, you have to layer CG on top of the real object, then do your animation and other stuff so that the CG object interacts with the CG object. You have to cover over it. And that's expensive, and that costs a lot. It's cheaper to just build a world and have them interact. And that's why the shots on like Cybertron and in this one, the unnamed planet, those shots look really, really good because it's all computer generated stuff interacting with other computer generated stuff.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about animation, let's talk about how distracting Noah's face is at the end of this movie where he's on the CG bridge and then they slap his face into the middle. I'm like, you should have made that opaque. There was no reason. He's not emoting. It does not matter. Just make it opaque. Show like glowing eyes or something. You did not
Dude,
have to
it
put
was
his face.
so
It
much-
just looks bad.
It was so much
Agreed.
like
Bad.
fucking Infinity War with Mark
Yeah.
Ruffalo in the Hulk armor. I'm like, it didn't look that bad when I saw it in theaters, but upon this rewatch, I'm like, why does this look so bad?
It does. That and sometimes when they interact with the bridge because it's full. So they clearly built parts of the set for the bridge for the humans to interact with. But then like when they're like moving away from the camera and becoming a CG object essentially, and
Yeah.
walking into the background, it's like it gets real like oh, I
CG.
can tell which thing here is real and which thing is CG, and I can see you trying to blur the line and it doesn't look good. Stop that. Like it's uncomfortable because again there are parts of this movie that are gorgeous and look really good, and when you have like just the characters by themselves or the really fucking cool ass way that they animated the beak for Air Razor,
Oh,
where they
that
have all
was
the moving
amazing.
parts and stuff, like it emoted beautifully. It looked super cool. She still didn't look like a real bird, but she's not supposed to look like a real bird.
No.
She's an alien robot that's based on a bird. She has a giant hole in her chest where you could like reach in and poke the inner workings. Like she is literally a robot. She's not supposed to look that much like a bird. She's supposed to look based on a bird. Same thing with Optimus. He looks based on an ape, but he only has fur, kinda, and he looks like he's wearing furry, like he looks like he's wearing armor plates, and the plates have fur on them. He doesn't look like he has fur.
I
So it
do want to
they're
inject.
doing that blur the line thing where like they are based on animals, but they are not truly embodying the animal. Like in the Beast Wars, where they basically were fully the animal. They had skin, hair, eyes, and then when they transformed out of it, you would just have these patches that looked like the animal on their body.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do want to inject.
it was good.
I do want to request one thing. Can we, instead of calling them Optimus and Optimus, can we call Prime and Primal? Because for
I'm fine with
literally
that.
a split second, I was like, when you said like Optimus actually looks like a girl, I'm like, okay. And I knew which one you were talking about, but I was like, for a second, I was like, are you talking about Prime or Primal? Because they both had a new design and both
Well, I mean,
looked a bit different.
there is a couple times in there where Optimus Prime does go a little apeshit. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Xenophobia is great, right?
Wait, what?
Wow. But I do want to. I do agree with that. I do. What Sean was saying before about how they looked wrong sometimes. I believe there's a scene when they're on the bridge and Optimus lands, and I don't think they did the size ratio correct. Him landing on
Mm-hmm.
the bridge.
Oh, yeah, the beautiful world of animation. Yeah, especially in any form of animation, staying on model and remembering the scale of everything
Like
in a scene
the
can be very
size.
difficult and really easy to screw up. Same in CG. Like, I felt like
Yeah, I was like,
Primal kind of got taller in some scenes and then shorter, and they didn't
mm-hmm.
know like exactly how tall he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they were fully on board with his sizing when he was in his ape mode.
Mm-hmm.
When he's in his human mode, he's basically just a transformer. They're all kind of roughly the same height, minor variations based on character. Bumblebee's a little small, RC's a little small, Wheeljack, and then you've got like Rhinox is all big and chunky. Primal is like half size Rhinox, and then Cheetor is like a basketball player.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will
So
say,
let's go ahead and get on to the into the plot here, because I just realized we wasted basically an hour talking about different things before going into the plot.
mm-hmm.
Will, go ahead and start us off.
In a world that lacks the original voice cast of Beast Wars, we get a voiceover from Ron Perlman where he's talking about Big Bad Evil Thing. I was going to say man, but Unicron's more of a thing.
Yeah.
Big Bad Evil Thing Unicron, which I believe was invented several decades after Galactus, but is basically just Transformers Galactus. Big, eats stuff, but is also, unlike Galactus, actively, like, dark, evil, and bad. And in varying versions of the world of Transformers, basically the devil, not even the devil, because the devil was a turned spirit. So Unicron is literally the essence of evil for, like, their species and potentially the universe, with the core of Cybertron. I just lost his name, but the one that turns into this core of Cybertron, being the other side, which is why Unicron does not create, Unicron corrupts, but Cybertron creates life. Things are born from Cybertron. Things are of Cybertron.
Isn't
Unicron
it Primus?
corrupts things that already exist to bend them to its will. I believe it's Primus. Yeah, it's probably Primus. I just lost that for a second.
Okay.
But anyways, we get a nice little lullaby by Ron Perlman, and he is telling us about how Unicron is no, bad, and Unicron shows up to eat the world that Ron is on. He and his buddy Ape Link, who have a long, deep, rich history that is in no way conveyed, and will not be relevant at all to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they are on that planet to eat it. That's what Unicron wants, and Scourge. Scourge is working for him, and he sends a bunch of minions down, and Ape Link and 5 other beings are apparently the only ones on the planet that aren't whatever the native species for that planet are, because I have to assume they are not native and they are alien to it based on kind of how it's put together. And they're like the only Transformers there. They're both simultaneously on the run from Unicron, which is important, but also kind of trying to like hide stuff from him. So they've been using something called the Transwarp Key, which is a fancy name for a big glowy orange rock.
MacGuffin.
The glowy orange rock, if you stick it in a machine, makes a big old tunnel that lets you go from planet to planet, and based off of one line of dialogue, also transports you through time. That is not important. Don't think about that. It will make your head hurt, and it has nothing to do with the movie. Just
Will, keep going.
Then it's the 90s, and we're following a man who is struggling. That man... Oh, I'm sorry. Ape Link is now dead Ape Link. Yay.
So he's a dead
Scourge.
Link instead of being an Ape Link.
Hey, they severed that link, so Scourge also shows you his habit of pulling off the insignia for whatever they are. Which,
Do you like how he says no as he goes up?
No, he says it terribly. It's one of the lines where I was like, dude, did you emote at all? You don't even sound like disappointed. You just sound like Ben Stein. What was that? How was that what they went with? Just
No.
And you're like, aren't you supposed to sound like mad or upset or distressed or scared or something?
No.
He just says the word no, and you're like, oh.
All
were
right,
you
Paul,
trying
tell
to
me about
fail?
Noah Diaz.
Noah Diaz from... I'm trying to remember where Noah Diaz was from, if he was from Brooklyn or the Bronx. Because I knew...
Brooklyn.
Okay. All right, so both of them from Brooklyn. All right.
They say his address twice.
Yeah,
They do
yeah.
say it twice.
Yeah.
As the New Yorker, could you tell us what that means for his character?
All right. As a New Yorker, knowing what borough you're from, it's like it's like how normal people view how they are from states. New Yorkers take pride in their borough. Like, it's always the city first, then your borough. It's like your identity. Like, yeah, I'm
And your
always...
apartment number.
Yeah, but...
And your apartment number, yes.
Whatever.
Which you should never say over the air, because they are...
Not over the airways.
Who's
Not
they?
over the airways. Don't matter who they
Should I
are.
say it? Or-
No, you do not
I've
say
already
it.
watched it, so...
I mean, it's the
G.I. Joe.
government.
Or you
Just
know.
leave it to the government.
G.I. Joe.
By they, I mean the ones who will tell you the more you know.
Yeah. But
I get
we go
it.
with Noah Diaz, honorably discharged soldier from the army.
Mhm.
He left so he can help his mother take care of his brother who is suffering from sickle cell. We start off with seeing his bedroom where he has the most amazing posters from Rum DMC and Tupac's only movie, Poetic Justice.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're
Poetic
losing the
justice.
plot here.
Oh, I'm sorry. And we also see that he knows how to work with electronics. He checks on his brother, makes sure his brother's doing okay. His mom, I'm just going to call her Rio, because she's Rio to me.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That's her biggest role.
Anyways, this is how Spider-Man came to be.
Yeah, that's Spider-Man can be.
Yeah, did you know that Spider-Man is from Queens? Which means that they would not like him in this movie, because this is about Brooklyn.
No.
Actually-
it's a friendly rivalry
Well,
thing.
actually, if I'm not mistaken, Miles Morales is actually from Brooklyn.
No, he's from Harlem.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because if I remember right, the way that they did those movies, he's from Brooklyn.
The movies, he's from Brooklyn.
So
The comic, he's
with
from
all the New
Harlem.
York in these, with the Pete Davidson and the Brooklyn, where's my Joey Wheeler?
All right.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Side note:
Okay.
I just looked up Miles Morales Brooklyn, and it says Miles Morales is famously from Brooklyn, a setting that plays a significant role in his origin story.
Damn.
Motherfucker.
Damn, I did not.
Yeah, but he's not from Queens, and that's where Spider-Man is from. That's how you know
yeah.
he's not Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he's also.
But he's also
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
No, he's not. The entire plot of 2 films is that he's not.
No.
But he is.
Well, whatever.
He's the
No, no,
Spider-Man
even-
of his timeline.
But even in Spider-Man 2, he still goes by Spider-Man.
All right,
It doesn't
calm
matter.
down.
It doesn't matter. All right, so
Look, in the unreleased director's cut of Spider-Man 3, you will never get this film because we're not making it, we swear.
Which, by the way,
That's
did you
when
see
you
the
find
release
out.
date for that now? It's now pushed to 2027.
shit.
Oh, is it? Are they still really making it? Because at the rate
Apparently.
they're going. At the rate we're going.
All right. Well, all right. I'm going to continue on with the story. We have Noah
Finally.
checking on his brother. Brother is still sick. His mom asks him if he can take him to the doctor. and he reminds his mom he has a job interview that day, and they both agree that he still has to take him because.
And what does she say? She says, "Make sure you tell them a joke. White people love that shit."
Yeah. Yeah.
It was as a guy who claims that he's also white, along with anything else that he can get away with, regarding his ancestry. Yes, I do love that shit.
Yeah. All right, and he takes his brother to the hospital so he can get his treatment. While they're at the hospital, his brother gets told, he gets caught by the hospital administrator asking for when they're going to be able to pay the bill, because I think it's 3 months overdue by the time 3 months overdue at that time, and they can't pay it.
I would feel that they would qualify for some form of charity, but I have no idea what healthcare was like in 1994 because I wasn't old enough to think that.
My brother was.
Back in '94.
I don't know if that's something that's changed or if that's still heavily dependent on what hospital you go to. I don't know how that all goes together, but I do know that especially them, where they have this incredibly difficult physical condition, they're not making a lot of money. It's you would qualify for something, because the hospital knows they're not going to get the full bill out of you. It's literally pointless. Telling them to pay. She says, "Well, then we would have to cut his coverage." I'm like, I don't think you're allowed to legally threaten that, because you're literally saying we're going to let your child die. I don't think you can do that.
If it's not an emergency service, they're able to say no. Since it isn't technically,
to go to emergency room.
if he needs
the
treatment, then
are in between. Technically, what he can do is wait for it to get bad enough and then take him to the ER, and that becomes their cycle.
Yeah,
because they can't be denied at the ER.
Yeah, they can't deny treatment at the ER. But yeah, all right. So
I'll take over on this part.
Oh, okay.
So he takes his brother there. They end up getting booted. So then he takes his brother to his job interview, which was supposed to be for security, and he finds out as he walks in, oh, well, they canceled my my interview. I don't understand that. So then he tries to accost the the guy who was supposed to interview him. He goes "Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I talked to your ex federale guys, your ex military guys that you used to work with, your commanding officer, and he said you know your shit, but apparently you're not committed. So
he's not a team player. He's not a team player.
Well." And he goes I don't know if we're gonna do anything with anybody like you. And he comes off as what seems kind of racist.
Oh
so
yeah.
It's okay. So they're in a mode of depression. They're trying to figure it out. And out on the train, he decides, you know what? I guess I'm gonna try to go ahead and work with this guy who he's a little disreputable, but let's see if I can do something with him.
Is crime.
Crime.
Yeah.
That's how desperation works.
Yeah.
I'm desperate, and now the local crime guy wants me to crime for him so I can make money.
I crime.
Crime me a river.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, basically.
And I do want to bring up...
So his task is to go and steal this really nice-looking car in the bottom of this, what was it? It was is it a hotel or something?
Bottom of a hotel.
It was a hotel.
It was a basement hotel garage.
So he tries to break in, and then the car literally rejects his, advances.
No, every single time he unlocks the door, and he then goes to reach for it, it locks again, auto locking.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a nice little moment there, and that he ends up pulling it back up and pulls the door at the same time. Yeah. He gets inside, and he's like, "Oh, I like this. I could get used to this." All of a sudden, that's when Optimus ends up spotting something. And Will, what does he spot?
That's when who spots? I got a little lost. Who? What?
Okay, what is the reason that Mirage gets a giant signal from Optimus Prime? Because we totally glanced over another character.
Just like the movie did.
Elena.
What?
So
I'm gonna let you
Elena
have that
is
one.
also a character in this movie. She gets introduced as being intelligent. She knows what she's doing. They have her assess a bunch of artifacts as real or not, and then somebody else takes credit for it. But while they're doing that, they dig out a bird-shaped statue that looks like a Horus statue. It's a bird statue from like Egypt, somewhere around there. No, it wasn't. It was Peruvian, I think.
Yeah, Peruvian.
No, they
That's
keep
where we
saying
wind up going.
Nubian.
They keep saying Nubian, right?
Now,
Which
I'm gonna pause you for a second. As soon as they said Nubian, the first thing that came to my head was Mallrats. No, not Mallrats. Chasing Amy.
what?
Mm.
And
That's
there's
a
a
movie I
specific
haven't
line
seen.
in Chasing Amy where they go, "What's a Nubian?"
There's an answer to that.
There is.
I don't know that this podcast does history, but
I'm just gonna let it sit there in silence for you.
so Nubia would be southern Egypt, northern Sudan.
Mm-hmm.
It would be Egyptian, but it's a specific part of Egypt
Yeah.
and that area. They think it's Nubian. They claim that it's Nubian. They say that it's covered in hieroglyphics and stuff. But Elena, since we've already jumped to when the man met the robot and climbed inside of him, so since that's already happened, the Elena clocks that the symbols on the bottom are not hieroglyphics, and she's like, that's not Nubian, that's bullshit. So she waits until everybody goes home, then she breaks into the lab, and she starts scanning the bird statue. The bird statue then starts glowing, breaks itself apart, and becomes half of what we, the audience, know as the transwarp key, but covered in metal. And then it shoots out a giant energy geyser all over the sky. But it's a energy wavelength that humans cannot detect or notice. So all of the Transformers see this massive energy thing in the sky, and they can detect it with like all of their gauges or whatever. We have no idea it's even happening. So no human reacts, nobody notices. It doesn't cause like a power surge or anything. So nobody notices, but all the robots notice. So the alien robots then start trying to converge on that location so they can, get it, because it's the MacGuffin and everybody wants it. So Elena initially freaked out that the bird statue shattered and fell apart, as she should, because she broke into a lab she did not have access to and destroyed a priceless artifact that they had opened that morning. So when she says the words, "Oh God, I'm going to jail," she's not kidding.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
lady who she worked for totally would have sent her to prison.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
she hated
Like a
her.
couple
You could
years.
tell.
Yeah, like she would have been like, you got two choices. You either work for me like for dirt pennies, and then I take credit for your next like 3 discoveries, or I'm putting you in jail. And then she would do the first option, because like, no, you did all the wrong things. But it's okay. The only person who doesn't do well, because now that the man is inside the robot, I don't want to jump too far ahead, but that's where we're going to leave Elena. Is she started the MacGuffin, all the alien robots are like, look, bright light, including Scourge, who is now trying to get to Earth to get to the bright light, and bring his lackeys with him. Do you want me to go through anything else, or?
No, I think you summed that up pretty well, Paul. What happens with Optimus, calling all Autobots, and Noah inside of Mirage? I'm sorry, inside of a car.
No,
It's
he's
fine.
inside.
He's inside Mirage. He was inside Mirage.
Yeah, but he hasn't given it away yet. God.
All right. Well, once Noah gets inside Mirage without knowing that
We got to stop saying that. It sounds so weird, especially with the line later.
Noah has a hard moment of reflection, and
You did that on purpose. Fuck you.
He did.
yeah, I had to. I had to.
We've had this talk, Paul. We've had this talk.
Clearly, Noah didn't have this talk. He violated. You know what? He violated
Can you
Mirage's
stop with the
sanctity.
rape illusions?
But
So, fun fact: while he's fiddling around in there, Noah has a change of heart.
yeah. As Noah
God damn it.
fingers Mirage's transformer, his Autobot medallion on the inside, he changes his mind. He realizes he doesn't want to be there, and as he tries to leave,
Everything about this.
As he tries to leave, he stopped. The door is on Mirage's just lock. Every single time he tries to.
No, I can't have you talk anymore for this part. You're making it so fucking weird. God damn it. Alright.
And then they get caught by a security guard. And Noah's freaking out.
Get out of the car.
And Noah's freaking out, asking for help. But Mirage takes off, taking Noah for a ride.
Alright, I'm taking over. So, the car ends up speeding out. His little crime buddy is following him. All of a sudden, the Popo show up. And, yeah, then he decides, well, guess what? I'm a dip. See you later.
And cut and ran so fast. It was just 2 sentences of, hey, man, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. Turns off to the right. I'm like, damn. That's cold.
Yep. So
that was rough.
I will say,
speeding off, and
this is the beginning of
Noah.
The best soundtrack I've ever heard in a Transformers movie. The songs playing it was a banger from beginning to end.
Yeah. So now we're on a semi Blues Brothers chase sequence, and they're going all over the place. It's cool. Action's happening. They're just dodging police cars one by one. It's almost reminiscent of the Bumblebee scene where everybody almost gets into an accident but then doesn't. Except in this one, everybody does. So it's just like, it's so close, but then they push the limit. And then from there, that's when he's like, okay, I understand what you're doing here. I understand. Okay, let's go ahead and get on the bridge. Try to get out of here as soon as possible. And then they get on the bridge. And all they're doing is just dodging more cars until suddenly the police are actually hitting the car. And what's he do? He ends up turning it around. What's he do from there? He transforms the car mid-chase sequence to go from back to front. Kind of like the way that you're supposed to wipe.
Mm-hmm.
This is not medical advice. We are not a medical podcast.
And then Optimus gets on the airwaves again. Mirage, are you there? And that's when he splits and makes duplicates of himself. He makes 4 other duplicates. I don't know if you saw that. Initially, I thought it was just 2 others. He makes 4.
No, it's 4. They had 5 of that car driving on the highway for realsies.
Yeah. And so they're going, and they manage to murk a cop while trying to evade it.
They were fine. They hit water. The car only rolled a little.
Are you talking about the one that actually managed to hit the steel beam in the middle of the highway?
No, he hit the thing you're supposed to hit, which is the big yellow things filled with water, which slow you down so you don't die.
Pretty sure he ended up going further than that.
Oh no, the one who totally died was the first one who got slammed into by a tractor trailer.
Yes. Yeah,
that guy died. That guy long died.
That guy's dead. Also, there's several other humans who they don't talk about because they wanted the movie's rating to be a certain way, but they straight up die. Like they're just not surviving. They're dead. They're very dead.
Oh yeah, the security guards.
The death from Transformers 3.
That man disappeared. He went from existing to not.
Oh no, I'm not even talking about the one inside the museum. I'm talking about the security guard sitting at the. No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the security guard sitting at the little booth that they had to sneak through.
Okay, we haven't gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, they get off the bridge, and then the car ends up taking him to this factory, and then he just pops Noah out, and then he transforms, and he stretches, and he's like, "Oh man, that's some good shit right there. I like you. You like this good shit? I got some good shit too. You want to see some more good shit?" And that's when they become best friends. Paul, I don't want you to take over. We'll take over.
So after that happens, you get a lovely sequence where Mirage realizes, oh yeah, I'm a 40-foot tall alien robot. You're probably freaking out a little right now. It's cool, man. We're all good. Don't worry. It's fine.
Do you like how he goes like, I'm an alien? Like, hold up.
Where he talks shit about, he brings up something else. He's like, that's ridiculous. That's not real. I'm an alien. Because that is a fact.
It is if you're talking to a human, it makes sense by saying I'm an alien. But if
Yes.
you were to talk to anybody else, would you say that?
Well, no, he is by Earth word definition. They are aliens. They are from another world.
Yes.
That is what they are. They are alien to this planet. That's how the word in science is used. Science fiction borrows the word, but
It's just
he
weird to
is,
have
by
it as
definition,
a
just an alien.
self-description. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that's
He didn't want to be called a killer
they're in
robot.
our house. He's talking to an Earthling and saying, "I am not from here. I am an alien to your world. I am alien to it," which is true. He is.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Cybertron.
Hmm.
Next thing,
Yeah.
I like that Noah picks up the metal pipe. Like, that's really going to matter against a robot so big that he could punt you through the ceiling. But, it's cute. That's all that counts.
I mean, he picks it up and then immediately drops it when everyone else comes in.
Noah does mention him. He's like, Mirage is like, you should probably put that down. My friends are going to show up, and there's a bunch of them.
He's
right.
He puts it down. He throws it down and away as soon as Optimus comes in and transforms, and is pissed.
Comes in and is bigger and taller than Mirage, then immediately proceeds to start yelling. He's like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm not pissing off that guy."
"Oh, you brought a human!" Like, okay.
So, other than Bumblebee, that does feel weirdly manufactured for this movie. Optimus basically doesn't exist in the last film. This is one of those moments that feels like there's shit that happened that none of us got to see, and maybe there was a whole other movie you wanted to make, and you just kind of skipped it, and it turned into this movie.
Well, it's funny because if we're going to try to make a little bit of a comparison here compared to the Optimus of the Bayverse, even all the way up to 3, Optimus completely cared about humans. Like, he was all about trying to make sure that no matter what, humans stay safe.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he did the whole thing about where, we have to pretend that we're dead and then wipe out half of Chicago. But
sacrificed half a city, but at that point, the American government was also being really, really effing terrible.
Yeah, and they fuck with him so much.
Tit for tat at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do...
So...
Okay. My opinion on it is the fact that this is an Optimus who has literally just came from Cybertron losing the war on Cybertron, and
that was
just
10 years ago.
No, but I'm taking.
Been about a decade.
Yes, I know it's been about a decade, but we're still dealing with an Optimus who just arrived on Earth and has found out. Comparatively speaking,
Comparatively, yes, but I would think they would actually think more along the lines of recent time, considering how long that he's been on Earth for at least a decade, and within that time,
I would say at most a decade.
Humans.
No.
Might have come across some humans who have been, human. So,
or he might not have even.
He acknowledges that Bumblebee had a positive experience.
Yeah.
He calls that out, and because Bumblebee's trying to tell him, he's like, "Boss, it's cool. You don't have to freak out so much all the time. Like, some humans are trash and some are good. They're literally like us." He's trying to draw that line for him, and Optimus just isn't having it.
Yeah. I do think they shouldn't have. With this movie, that end scene from Bumblebee does not help. This movie, that with the Optimus that we have in this movie, that end scene from Bumblebee where Optimus is basically comforting Bumblebee after he loses his first human friend, it feels like a completely different person, but also
like a different character.
Yeah, but also to me, it's also like, I hate to make this reference, but it's like the Dumbledore scene from Goblet of Fire versus how it is in the book. In the book, Dumbledore asks Harry, "Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?" Calm and relaxed, and just knowing it's a no, he's calm, relaxed. He doesn't care. He's just exhausted that it's the same fucking kid.
I know what point you're trying to make. I don't think that applies to this, considering that this is a direct sequel rather than an adaptation.
But I'm thinking it's more of the director wanting to show that Optimus is not a caring, understanding person who is willing to open up to people. He is strictly about
the director. I think that's more along the lines of the 5 rioters trying to make
probably.
a decision on him, and they went with, let's go with xenophobe.
Yeah, let's just go with him being
that's the thing.
angry.
He's very explicitly xenophobic. Like he openly says humans cannot be trusted. Then Noah immediately proves him right, but he doesn't know that he's right because stuff. But like he's openly xenophobic to humans, but they haven't shown a reason why he would be, because that is like the stance that Bayverse movie 5 Optimus should be taking after all the horrible stuff that the humans have done in all of the movies. He should absolutely like hate humanity. He should, just straight up, because the humans do not care about the Transformers in that universe. So I get that. But it's weird in this one because like none of that has been shown. They haven't talked about it. They haven't in any way alluded to it. He just is scared and xenophobic.
Yep.
I get the scared, but the xenophobic is weird.
Yep, completely. So, with that being said, Paul, briefly take me through the next scene where they go and learn about the transwarp key and then get to the museum.
Okay. All right. So we get to the point where Optimus agrees to allow.
God damn it! I said briefly.
Fine. Optimus agrees to allow Noah to join the group and assist them in getting to the transwarp key. They're trying to figure out how they're going to get to it, and as they're going in, Noah asks Mirage if he has to be a Porsche, if he can't transform into something else, and Mirage transforms into a garbage truck to get them through the security gate so that they can so Noah can get out and get the key, get the transwarp key from the museum.
Cool. I want them to be at the museum now.
Yes. So they get there, and as they're going through, Pete Davidson has to have improv multiple damn lines for it because I don't see.
God damn it, Paul! You're
fine. They're at the museum, and Noah gets in, and he goes up the stairs to get to where they have the key. He bumps into, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name, and you guys have said Elena, and they have this back and forth. I need the key. No, I'm not going to let you steal the key. I'm not really stealing the key for myself. I'm stealing the key for these giant alien robots. She thinks he's crazy. Then security guard comes in, and then boom, all hell breaks loose. And security.
I appreciate you're going beat for beat, but I need quicker. This is going on long.
Security guard dies. Elena acts like any normal, rational person, says, basically, fuck this, I'm out. And they try to escape. They get attacked by a tiny spider bot.
Okay, those spider bots,
They're
did
freaking
they
creepy.
look a lot like Frenzy from the very first movie?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, very, very reminiscent. I would be curious to see a side-by-side and to know if the art team did that on purpose.
I think
so that's why I thought that the Scorponok's looked like the ones that we get later on in the movie. That I'm like, huh.
Oh yeah, they
We got
are
more
definitely.
Scorponok's, and it seems to me that they're considered drones in this,
Mm-hmm.
but it makes me believe that Scorponok's and the Frenzy bots are basically Terrorcons that just happen to work with the Decepticons later.
Yeah. It could simply be that
they
they're
don't
just
even name drop Decepticons in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Oh, speaking of which, this is something that we completely glossed over. So, when we first see Scourge, he has a bunch of different patches on him. on those patches, they're basically a bunch of different Transformer insignias. We've got Autobot, Decepticon, Maximal, and Predacon. You know what's not in this movie? A goddamn Predacon.
They don't even name drop it. They don't even talk about him.
No, all you get is the insignia, which I think is a nice little, call there, but still.
Yeah, that's because the villain in Beast Wars, the villain is not Unicron. They don't even talk about him. He's not in there. They combined two storylines to do this.
Mm-hmm.
The Beast Wars were between the Predacons and the Maximals, and it involves a whole bunch of stuff having to do with their home planet of Cybertron. Has literally nothing to do with Unicron. He's not there. He's not part of it. Nothing to do with it. He's not even in Beast Machines. I think they name drop him, but they drop
do
him
in Beast Wars. If you remember, it was when Optimus was abducted by the Vok, when he's inside their little when he's inside their little stone monument that they had, and he's talking to the Vok, and he's trying to find out exactly what they're planning, and he goes, Unicron, and he goes like, oh no, we just chose something based off of your memory banks.
Oh yeah, because he looks they made him look like Unicron, and he's like, what the hell? Yeah, because technically in that version of the story, Unicron's already dead. Orbiting Cybertron.
I just looked it up. Apparently there was multiple things on his grill. He has Maximal, Autobot Elite Guard, Wrecker, and Decepticon and Predacon emblems on him.
Wreckers on there?
Yes.
That's a comic reference for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the main four.
He also has a mercenary emblem as well.
Interesting.
But,
so from there, we end up getting this giant battle where all of a sudden Scourge and his minions show up, and then Noah and Elena are trying to escape. We've got Bumblebee and everybody else trying to take on all the different Terracons, and Optimus comes in. And this is where I want to point out my favorite segment of these movies that I only started on the last episode, but I call it Transformers Points of Penetration.
I think we get 3 in just this fight.
Yeah.
There's actually 5.
Really?
5?
Yes.
Optimus.
So,
I know
the first
Optimus
one is Ape Link at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Oh, we're counting that?
I'm counting that. The second one is Prime. He gets 2. He gets a mini stab and then what I call a full thrust, which is basically just an impalement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3.
Ooh, Bumblebee.
Next one is Bumblebee. He gets a full thrust with an honorary load blow right after.
Yeah.
He went full Vegeta there.
The same man who said that Paul was being too sensual in his words, but
yes,
Sean can just go full.
I was being too euphemistic. He's just being explicit.
Yes, yeah. Except at least with me, you know what you're getting. With Paul, it's just the way that you talk.
That is so mean and insensitive.
Ladies, I'm
4,
here to
we don't get any more points of penetration until the final battle. But number 4, it's a random bot that stabs Primal during their battle overview. Number 5 is Nightbird when Bumblebee rips out the rips off the wing and stabs her, causing her to explode. And then the last one is Scourge, where Optimus impales him twice, with the second being a thrust to the face and pushed into lava, ripping off his head.
Pushes him into lava twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Takes a lot to put Scourge down.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, thank you for listening to my points of penetration. Now, Will, tell me why you were disappointed that we went for the Bumblebee fake death.
I don't remember saying that, but okay. What was I disappointed about?
The fact that we've got so many times that Bumblebee has died within this movieverse.
Okay, so he almost dies in the last movie. Then he almost dies in this movie. In this one, they took him basically out of commission for like 80% of the film. But I will say, his reintroduction during the fight is really fucking cool.
Oh,
yes. Yes, it is.
Don't call it a
comeback.
Shit out of that. And he shows up and you're like, and that's why. he's good at this.
Yep.
Like he's really fucking good at fighting. Like I kind of feel like you just stick him and RC with a big enough set of guns, and they would just win the fight. Just leave him alone.
Oh,
They'll blow
straight
everything
up.
It's cool.
Straight up.
Just the two of them are really, really fucking good. And yeah, he absolutely destroys everything. Proceeds to body the shit out of Nightbird.
Oh yeah.
It was rough. I felt kind
I
of
like
bad
how
for her.
the two deaths that we get out of him are the most brutal deaths of these movies so far.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
he is really good at fighting. Like scary good. He is small, but god damn.
He is
do
small
not
but
let
mighty.
him near the enemy. They will die.
But that's the
He is,
thing.
Things like
he
a
is violent.
That's the thing. It goes from him not having any real impact in the fight, and during that museum fight, it really felt like everything Bumblebee tried to do was not working. There was no impact at all. And then it goes to him getting brought back and him literally poning everything that's around him.
Within 20 seconds
Yeah.
of entering the fight, he takes out one of the top 3 bad guys and like 30 minions.
30 minions in one
I will
shot.
say that the
in single
entire
shots.
first fight of the museum does have that problem of feeling like the heroes have completely forgotten how to fight, have no idea what they're doing, are moving slowly.
There's a lot
for
of jumping
no
around,
reason.
yeah.
And Optimus, like physically, he looks like he's moving through like mud for like no reason. It's just so they can lose that fight to win the other one later, which is stupid because why? You could just do the fight differently and have the same things happen. You don't have to nerf them so that they lose the fight. You can just like surprise them. Like they've never fought these enemies before. They're unfamiliar with them, so they get surprised and they lose, and Bumblebee almost dies. You don't have to nerf them like visibly and make them look really incompetent and stupid and bad at the thing they do. It's like you could just have them lose, but they didn't. They had them look bad at what they do, and then at the end of the movie, they all of a sudden know what they're doing, and it's like that. It's kind of stupid, but the moment is really, really cool, so they kind of totally fucking earn it for Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I would put it
So,
like
just a second here real quick.
coolest.
Just a second. I need to step away, but continue with the plot. I will be right back.
Okay. So I would put Bumblebee as that's like the second coolest scene I've seen with him in a show. Number one is pretty much always going to go to Prime, Transformers Prime.
Yeah.
Because just the moment at the end of like 3 seasons worth of show involving Bumblebee is so earned and good. I have yet to see something top that, but it's hard because they spent 3 seasons building up to it.
See,
Anywho,
that's the thing.
what was the last thing we went over for plot, Paul?
Last thing we went over was them fight. The
They
beginning of
lost
the
museum
fight.
and Bumblebee got fake killed because that happens to him in these movies.
But I honestly, I think if they were still gonna do it, they should have. In my opinion, if they were gonna do that and have Bumblebee die, they should have at least had it be Mirage and Bumblebee going in with Noah, and have Optimus on the back burner waiting to be there, so it wasn't literally like, we just showed up, the entire team is getting wiped right now. It's not just the entire team's getting wiped. It's literally, our 2 youngest members went out to the fight, and we didn't know it was actually going to be a fight. We wouldn't have sent out the two rookies for this mission if it wasn't gonna be, if we knew there was gonna be conflict or an enemy there. I don't know why they did that, in my opinion. Because if they would have just sent Mirage and Bumblebee there, and then Scourge showed up, and Bumblebee dies from Scourge as Optimus is racing up to him, I would accept that death. I would accept that version of a fight, because this dude's been fighting for years. Bumblebee's still technically a rookie getting his memories back. But it doesn't, to me, the fight of having...
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, the fight of having them all there and them still getting whooped, basically 5-on-3, did not feel like the Autobots were basically on sleep pills, fighting through fighting through being drowsy, and then getting their asses handed to them. If they would have just sent in Mirage and Bumblebee and Noah, and then had Optimus showing up later on, it would have felt, that fight would have felt more natural and more appropriate.
Nah, because you need to have it to where everybody fails at the beginning, just so you can show how awful the new Terracons are.
Yeah, but even having the new Terracons there, if it was just Bumblebee and Mirage there, showing Bumblebee can actually hold his own, and him getting beaten by
didn't.
But no, but that's the fact. That's what I'm trying to get at, is showing that Bumblebee is attempting to hold his own, but then gets beaten as a statement to Optimus that they aren't their average. They aren't the average soldiers anymore. That
so
they aren't the strongest.
I'm going to say you're wrong, and I'm going to prove to you why.
Okay.
The whole thing is that the entire team is a fractured mess. Optimus being the sole reason behind it, because he's basically on a always forward step and not knowing his next plan until he sees something urgent and then decides, maybe we should do this. Let's go do this. Come on, guys, do this. Come on. Let's do this. Come on. You know you wanna. Well, if you don't wanna, I don't care. We're gonna do this.
He's being reactionary instead of proactive. Reactive instead of proactive.
Exactly. And so all of it
to be a leader,
is a giant uncoordinated mess. And that's what that whole battle illustrates. And his failing by seeing Bumblebee get killed in front of him just further illustrates that point. Mm-hmm. Am I wrong on that?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Just say that I'm right. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I refuse to say that.
Anyways, because I don't know where you guys left off. Did you say that Air Razor came in, bombed everybody, and then caused the Terracons to leave?
No,
but
okay, so that happens.
She does that because she's a bird, but she shoots a fire laser.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. They never explain it.
Nope.
It's just a thing she can do and nobody else can.
Yep.
She's the only one of them with a ranged attack. Again, don't think about it. Don't worry about it. We're not going to talk about it. So she does that. They leave. They talk to her. She's super nice, super friendly, very forthcoming with all the information that they need. Just honestly, one of the most chill characters in the movie. And
she gets a lot of exposition
in the show.
She wasn't high strung in the show.
Oh, I thought you meant that she was chill.
Oh, I thought you just said the opposite of what she was in the show. No, she's a lot like what she is in the show, where she's just there, vibing, being cool, having fun. Doesn't shoot as many missiles as she does in the show. But anyways, they're having this conversation, and they find out everything, and then Elena volunteers info, and you're like, oh, it's not Nubian. We're going to have to go to Peru. And they're like, hey, how are we going to do that? We could blah, blah, I don't know how we're going to do it. And then before they leave, we get a side story of the buddy cop drama, Mirage and Noah, going back to Noah's house so that he can say goodbye to his little bro. And then there's a whole thing where the little bro finds out there's a giant alien. Aliens are real. The car transforms.
Which is both simultaneously a heartwarming conversation and a very funny conversation, because it's, as I've said before, it's the line where he goes like, whoa, work friends? Bro, you're inside me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is your favorite line in the movie.
Yes, it is. When I saw that in theaters, the entire theater erupted in laughter, so it's deserved.
Fair. Good delivery.
Oh,
but they're doing their
that's
thing.
Actually
they're
interesting.
Back and forth, and then they come back and get a cool shot of Noah and Mirage, who are now best friends, walking forward, and it's daylight, and then we find out how they're going to get to Peru, because they're going to have to fly, because they want to get there fast.
John DiMaggio.
And then a very rickety, very old propeller plane transforms and falls apart and then hawks up a part of his own anatomy. Like a muffler flies out of his face as he's coughing and lands in front of them. And they just kind of all look terrified, Which, by the way, side note, Elena has never left New York or been on a plane. That is not what her first plane experience should be. That woman is going to need therapy.
Yeah.
Like Noah was in the military. He has ridden on planes that are bigger, smaller, shittier, better. He's been on planes before. He's fine. He doesn't care. She has never ridden on a plane ever in her life, and she is basically now on a cargo plane that is half falling apart.
And during that time, we actually get a little bit of backstory from her, where she goes into like stuff about her father, I believe. Like her father's passed away, but
her dad was a New York cabbie for 40 years. He
That's
was very
it, yeah.
intelligent. He was very big on learning from other people. He essentially drove into her, keep your eyes and your ears open, always be learning, always be listening, and then, in his words, life will show you what you need.
Always be
trying
closing.
to impart.
No. Always be learning.
Is essentially be open, always be listening, stuff like that, which are honestly great things to instill in anyone, child or not. We have a habit of becoming more closed off as we age. He did not.
Life.
Yep. But he is apparently dead. The entire conversation very much infers, and then I think she explicitly says that he passed away. So she went to college and wanted to, learn and stuff like that, and why she's an anthropologist, archaeologist, some sort of ologist. She studies shit. And so they're talking, and Noah's doing it to comfort her, and then Noah goes full xenophobe, just like Optimus, and is like, we gotta look out for us. Let's blow up the other half of the transwarp key when we find it. And she's like, if you do that, they can't go home. And he goes, yeah, that's their problem, not mine.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, Noah's become really fucking hardcore in the last 14 hours.
But to be fair, though, you see both viewpoints, and you're kind of like, I get both sides, but you don't really know what you should do.
Wrong, but he's also being an asshole. So here's the thing. If you're going to be cutthroat, maybe don't be cutthroat to the 3-story tall metal being with a gun larger than most vehicles that pops out of his arm, because he's going to blow you the fuck up. And if he gets mad enough, he'll hunt down your family and kill them too. So maybe don't double-cross that guy.
Yeah.
Who already distrusts you. Like, you're really assuming he's not going to turn around after you blow up half of the key and just start wrecking your hometown. Like, you're like, oh no, it'll blow up the planet, we'll all die. And your world will get destroyed, aka all the stuff you care about, if you double-cross the alien murder machine. Maybe think this through. Like, threaten him with it? Okay, fine. Tell him you're not going to give it to him? Okay, fine. But, like, going straight to blow it up, which is a non-undoable action, kind of sounds like you're an idiot, Noah. Don't do that. Don't.
Paul.
You're cutthroat, but 14 hours ago you weren't.
Paul, tell me what happens when they get to Peru.
Right, they get to Peru. There
we go. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
They meet Wheeljack, and Noah has an interesting conversation with him. And
dive into that for me.
He asks Wheeljack how he has the accent, but doesn't know any Spanish.
Okay, hermano.
And
like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't look into see who was the voice actor, and hearing gringo Spanish coming from being spoken with a Spanish accent broke my brain somehow. It was like, this just sounds so wrong, but it's done so well.
Where it came from, it does it very, very well.
Yes, like it does it so well, but I enjoyed that.
You know what's better though, because this kind of reminds me of that one fucking robot from Transformers 5 that we all thought was pointless. Was that stupid ass one who spoke with, what was it, an Italian accent, or was it French?
Yep,
I don't
it was
remember.
an Italian accent.
Oh yeah. They point out in the movie that his accent is like, they point out that it's weird and pointless, and like he picked it up for no reason.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I think his accent came, Wheeljack's accent came because that's where he was. He was just mimicking the dialogue that was around him. But yeah, the other dude made no damn sense. Yeah.
I mean, why do they all speak English? Why does he have an accent and speak English when he spent years in a place where they speak a dialect of Spanish or a dialect of an indigenous language, because they are in Peru and they are in a rural area, so there's a chance that they speak a modified version of something that was more native to that region.
Yes. But
like, why would he speak English? But if we're going to get into that conversation, why do any of the fucking Transformers speak English? Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, at least they gave it kind of an explanation in the first movie, but then that explanation is retconned with all the other movies that come after that.
That is so true.
Yeah, and technically they should know every Earth language, and they all think in Cybertronian, but
right. But they specifically know English because of the World Wide Web.
Yep.
eBay.
Yeah, and they would know every other language for the same reason. They would have an encyclopedic knowledge of human communication because they're robots and they can just fucking scan it. So.
It was just a throwaway line in the first movie, and then you're like, everything else is like, well, I don't know now.
Yeah.
Then they figure out how they're gonna sneak into the back of the church, where they're supposed to find the tunnel to the other part of the key.
The transwarp key.
Yep, transwarp key.
The MacGuffinator.
Yeah, the MacGuffin.
Yeah.
The MacGuffin, the Deus Ex Machina. Sorry, no.
Well, oh, hold up for a second.
No, it's
the
How many
MacGuffin.
fucking movies do we have to have where they're constantly going after a MacGuffin that's literally just sci-fi explanation bullshit key thing?
Every movie?
it's not all of them, but it's a lot of them. It's a very common trope.
I know, but I think with Transformers it's incredibly prevalent.
That's because, well, remember, this is all based off of a very simple premise for a children's TV show that was basically just an advertisement.
So we're saying that everything needs to have an object of permanence?
You're using that word wrong. You're using it wrong.
You're using words wrong.
Stop that. You are not wording correctly.
I don't know, man. Every time that we get a movie and they have to have a MacGuffin, it kind of seems like it's an object that's permanently instilled within this franchise.
Oh, I forgot that.
What does that mean when you say that?
Just go.
I forgot that they gave.
He's just saying, Paul. He's just speaking.
He's just.
Do you smell toast?
I don't smell toast. I just stopped caring
lately, but it's finally gone away.
I just stopped caring what Sean says.
That's not good.
But yeah, I dropped the portion where Mirage gives Noah a piece of himself.
Ooh, he gets a shiny glove.
Yeah, and is told, "Don't ask where."
After this scene.
Yeah.
Got a flashlight.
Yeah. Don't ask where you get.
Don't ask
what
where it came from.
Yeah. Don't ask what part of me that's from. Like, okay.
So that's a throwaway line, but that brings up a good point. Do Transformers have parts? Because they literally transform constantly into wildly different things. So
they do.
Aren't they kind
and I'm
of
going to give you two examples.
Blob?
I'm going to give you two examples. First one, Bumblebee from the very first movie, when he lubricates all over Agent Simmons.
Yeah.
The pee joke.
Second movie, Devastator.
Testicles.
The scrotal region.
His giant balls. His twin giant wrecking balls.
A lot of questions.
But Mirage appears to be the only.
I don't mean to interrupt again, but I have to. Paul, you and I have recently gone to Universal Studios of Florida for Halloween Horror Nights. I went on the Transformers ride. Did you go on the Transformers ride when you went?
Yes, I did. I enjoyed it.
There is a scene within that wonderful, very hectic, chaotic ride with Devastator in it.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like
they neutered him.
Main part of the ride.
So you go through him, and then you also, and as Paul just mentioned, they neutered him. He does not have a scrotal region in that ride.
Wait, so they made him general audience rated version of him?
Yeah, yes. They made a PG version of Devastator.
That's censored.
As brutal as all the violence is in that specific ride, because it's a pretty brutal ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no scrotal region for whatchamacallit.
For Devastator.
Devastator, which I think is very
such
funny.
A weird choice. Like, that's a bridge too far. Like, that's inappropriate. But
Like
it was
when
in the movie.
like when watching The Amazing World of Gumball, and there's a character who is just a balloon, and in order to eat, he shoves food up his balloon knot.
I really don't.
I don't know, man. The fact that you got that for a kids' TV show, and then you can't do that for a fucking ride.
I'm pretty sure it's just. It's one of those things where.
Balloon knot in the show. Just saying.
It's one of those things where you literally just go, I'm going to avoid getting complaints because I don't want to deal with them. It's literally when you know you're going to get complaints if you put those in. Some parent is going to complain that you put testicles on a robot and had it in your ride.
All you got to do is just make them giant clankers.
It don't matter.
Definitely not going to be able to use.
Yep, never again. Soon.
Oh, I mean, they just clank together, clank, clank.
What about the AI? What is male AI gonna think? They're gonna think you're being prejudiced against them, calling them clankers.
Now you're just being racist. Anyways.
No, you're the one who said it. You're the one who said it first.
Hey, Papi, you being a little racist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just went all over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Went all the directions.
This episode's going to be a wild edit.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it is. As long as I don't have to deal with any echoes
You won't for me.
or bumps. I'm not gonna have any bumps, Will, am I?
No.
I don't know, but you should talk to your doctor.
Oh.
But yeah.
All right, so they go inside. They find out that the transwarp key's not inside. They get out, and that's when Scourge and his homies decide to wreck some shit because they think that the other transwarp key's going to be there. And then they have an all-out brawl, and they go out onto the outskirts of this mountain. They go on this mountain pass, and that's where Optimus does this really cool thing where he skids in his truck form and then decides to transform and then basically terraforms the side of the road while he transforms.
Oh, he absolutely destroyed the crap out of that roadway.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know, the people who live in that area, that you're looking at like a month of downtime because they're gonna have to drive supplies
months.
all the way out there.
Like they would have ruined the Suez Canal if it weren't for us humans. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he absolutely ruined like the day-to-day lives of hundreds of people in the mountains of Peru.
Yep. Oh, AirRaiser
Very
did too.
Well, no, AirRaiser deleted the roadway. Optimus like roughed it up a little, but later in the fight, she just straight deletes the road.
This is why this movie is fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
It is very dumb, but it is fun. So during the fight, what happens to AirRaiser that is incredibly important to the plot?
Oh, yes. So Scourge ends up shooting something at her, and it's actually like a Scourge virus, which kind of goes with his name.
That as one of the points of penetration?
Ooh, you know what? You're right.
Because
let's go ahead and do that.
Stabs her. Like,
yeah.
It literally is a spiked flat object that stabs her in the side, like on her wing.
I didn't think of it that way. So
rotting.
yeah, AirRaiser, I'm sorry, but you're part of the points of penetration list. You're Pop 7.
Okay, she's got less happening than Prime did, so.
Oh, okay. All right, let me speed this up so we can get to that particular part that I want to talk about here. So, Scourge ends up being separated from the Autobots and by this giant flame wall that AirRaiser put out after deleting the road. So all the Autobots escape. They end up going into this jungle, and then as they're going to this waterfall, all of a sudden they hear some noise, and then out comes Big Giant Monkey Man, and he's
Ape.
He's pretty. Yeah. So he's pretty fucking cool though. I loved seeing him just show up and seeing how big he is compared to the humans. Now, interesting thing about that is that when you get original Beast Wars, they are the size of the actual animals that they're supposed to be taking, form of.
Yeah.
And this one, they're like 20 times larger.
Oh no, they're the size of Transformers in this movie.
Yeah.
In the original Beast Wars, and this is a major plot point for that entire like show and like all of those characters. Maximals and Predacons exist because of stuff that happened on Cybertron, and they are like 8 or 9 feet tall when they're in their robot mode. They're not that big. They are
Right.
when they turn into the animals, they are the size of that animal on Earth, like the average size of it. So like
And
Primal turns into an ape, and then he's roughly the size of an ape. He's smaller than Rhinox. They're all smaller than Megatron, and it's just they're all the size of the Earth thing that they turn into. And then when they turn into their robot mode, they're slightly different, but they're not that big. Like if you were standing next to them, even in robot mode, you'd only be like a foot shorter.
exactly.
They're very small. In this movie, they are huge.
And if we go back to Beast Wars, just again, you don't find out their size comparison to the Autobots and Decepticons until you get to season 3. Mm-hmm. The original Transformers are fucking huge compared to them.
Yeah, they're using the controls for Teletran 1, and it looks like a bunch of tiny little like children playing on a giant playset, because everything is sized for the Autobots and Decepticons, and they're about the size of us, so they are super tiny compared to the giant alien robots.
Oh yeah. So seeing them being as large as those particular things was kind of freaky. But honestly, the more you see it, the more you become accepting of it.
Yeah.
The thing I'm not accepting of is the fact that we don't get their transformation until the final battle, and it's only for like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, they really make you wait, and then they barely show it.
Mm-hmm. So from there, they end up meeting the Maximals. Airraiser comes in and says, "Hey, they're with me." Airraiser, you're alive? Yeah, this is Optimus Primal. Oh, I guess I should have recognized him considering I'm, named after him. Hey, what's going on? Ron Perlman here. So then they go with the Maximals to, discuss what their plans are. They end up finding out that the Transwarp Key is actually housed by this Peruvian nation, like little settlement. Optimus immediately is like, "Give me the key. I will use it and beam us home. But that will bring Scourge. But I can still go home." Fuck you, Optimus Prime. Fuck you. That's all I got to say about that.
So we get a beautiful heart-to-heart moment where Primal essentially has a talk with Optimus Prime, where the two of them are talking, and Primal points out that they've been on Earth for a long time, and they essentially assimilated with humans and coexisted with them, existed alongside. They also, as they were walking, Elena, again, trying to point out that she's intelligent and knows what she's doing, she starts asking about a bunch of sites around the world, and Primal goes, "Yeah, we didn't do that. That's human ingenuity. Humans are really impressive, essentially." And he's not wrong. The sites that she brought up are all very impressive, and there's a bunch of conspiracy theories about like aliens and stuff, but realistically, they're just ancient people are smarter than we think they were. We say things like ancient and all that, but they're actually pretty fucking sharp. Like, they knew what they were doing, because humans have always been human. And so they're talking, and Primal essentially impresses upon Prime, humans are not as bad as you think, essentially. Like, you're thinking, but you're not giving their entire species enough credit. We've been here for centuries. We've seen the length and breadth of their experience. We know what they are and what they're capable of. You're being essentially too harsh when you represent them the way you do. Like, they're not that bad. You're just, realistically, he's just overreacting.
You just have a lot of animosity for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, they don't go into that because, again, I don't know which of the 5 writers that was for, but it could have been handled a little better and explained a little better. But yeah, essentially, he's like, "Be at one with nature, with life, yes." And then Prime is like, "Oh, be nice, yes." And then we move on. And the next big thing is, how do we get to... Oh, they decide that they're going to give Scourge the half that they have. They're going to draw him out because they need the 2 halves to go together, because that is important. And the next morning, they wake up, and the bird is sick. She is now working for Scourge. So she essentially steals the chunk of the Transwarp Key and flies away.
Now, you say that she still works for... that she's now working for Scourge, but she still has a sense of herself.
Sorta. It's essentially a back and forth. Scourge is, which is honestly one of the best things about how they designed his character. They call him Scourge. They make him look very rusted, and like you can see into his skull at one point, or what would be his skull if he had that. He looks like half rotted. They point out that he's basically unkillable. He has no spark, essentially, they kind of allude to, because he's tied to Unicron. So Unicron just raises him. He's essentially an undead in fantasy terms. He'd be like an undead revenant that keeps getting raised by the big bad to go do his bidding, which is why killing him is so hard. And Scourge corrupts the things that, as she put it, when Scourge touches you, like he leaves essentially a permanent mark. She misinterprets what he did. He was actually corrupting her. He essentially is rusting her.
The taint
like,
of Scourge. Like rust
and rot. Yeah, he's corrupting her, and by doing that, her eyes go from the green to red, and then he can make her go do stuff. So he forces her to bring him the transwarp key, then he makes her fight Big Monkey Man, and then Big Monkey Man has to I Am Legend the giant bird lady, and it's very sad.
Okay. That particular part bugged me.
What part of it? Because there's probably several that you can pick apart.
The one that really bugs me is Optimus Primal killing her.
Why? She's corrupted. She can't really do anything. They don't even talk about the word of healing.
Yeah, but how is it that he fucking killed her by choking her out?
Oh, he crushed her chest cavity.
Oh, did he?
Terms.
Yeah, you hear it. You hear it breaking.
Basically hugging her, and then you hear the sound of a motor whirring, and the motor sound gets like softer and softer and slows down. He basically hugged her and just crushed until he squeezed the life out of her, which is like the least violent thing way that he could do it. Plus, it minimized, like, she wouldn't be flopping around and, like, shooting the laser and hurting anyone else. It was a way of neutralizing her and just finishing it with, like, some level of dignity, essentially.
So you also heard the metal groaning.
That way. I'm glad you pointed that out. The way that
they should have
zoomed
out. I don't know why the fuck they didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
not
they
even far.
took all their
just
lessons from Bumblebee and
feet.
then didn't go with them.
Yeah, I different director, different writers, but they should have zoomed out like 5 feet so you could see what was happening, but they had to zoom in on his face, and I'm like, he's not even emoting. You don't need to do that. You could zoom out so that we could see what's happening. It's still impactful. Just because it's a movie, you don't have to be up the nose of the actor to know what they're thinking. Like, it's fine.
The reason why I'm questioning the idea of him killing her is due to the fact that, one, she's a giant robot, and two...
Yeah, let's not...
I know. Like, when it comes to
most of... We're not even going to talk about, like, what are they compared to the Transformers? Are they the same species?
That's exactly what I was going to get into.
Time travel? What the fuck are
they?
That's why I said
exactly what I was going to get into,
because I was thinking... creates problems.
I know. It's just... Is it because the fact that she's a giant animal bot that all of a sudden now she's able to, like, get her windpipe crushed and then, okay, I'm dead?
Yeah. Well, she has, like... when you look at her chest, she literally has the maximal symbol and then 2 massive holes where you can see inside where, like, a bunch of, like, her core stuff is, and her chest plate is literally like an armor plate. Like, it looks like where the maximal symbol is looks like it's mounted to, like, an armor plate, which is why there's the holes, because that's not her, that's an outer layer of, like, armor. So, like, yeah, they don't do a great job of explaining any of this, and it works only because, well, if you think about it, it stops making sense, and that's the only reason you don't. Like, you have to do a lot of suspending of disbelief because they just don't fucking explain anything.
They don't.
And I know, I really wish they did, because, like, that works for Bumblebee, because you don't have to, because it's all really self-explanatory. Robot A hates Robot B. They're on 2 sides of a war. That's really simple to understand. The entire movie is I'll do A and D. Robot A is Autobot, D is Decepticon. Robot A and D fight. AD fight, D die sometimes, A die sometimes. That's the entire conflict for the first film. That's all you have to know about. That's it. This one is, they name drop time travel, they go from one planet to another, they introduce the Maximals.
This movie is a bit of a mess,
isn't it? So much of this shit is just, what the fuck are you doing? I don't understand.
God, no wonder why. Okay. Maybe there is a reason why it didn't make as much money as it should have.
Yeah, like I said, it feels like there's an entire other something, film, book, comic, video game, something that would just explain all of this, but it feels like they didn't do it, and it feels like the writing assumes you just know this. And dude, I have seen Beast Wars like 3 times. None of this shit is in there. I am a huge fan of that show.
I wish that they still did comics the way that they did like the first 3 movies. Because they did comics and novelizations that goes in between everything. I wish that they did that for because that would have been great.
And they did none of it.
No,
there's so much left unsaid. Like sometimes you don't have to explain your world. Sometimes you do. Sometimes if you go this hard and you get this weird, you kind of have to do some, because at the end of the day, it's just confusing. Like, yes, for the purposes of the storyline, you don't need this, technically, but it is still weird and confusing. And, like, if you think about it for more than 5 seconds, it starts falling apart, which is never a good sign. And then supposedly, like, big picture, before this came out, there was gonna be another one because it's Transformers, and in live action it keeps making money. So theoretically, they were gonna do more.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the third one gonna be?
Transformers, G.I. Joe.
Were they gonna kill Unicron? Were they gonna go back to Cybertron? Was the third one gonna just straight up be an animated feature where they're not even on Earth and there's no humans and it's just all on Cybertron? Was Megatron actually gonna show up?
Hang on. So out of the 3 of us, have we all watched the new Fantastic Four movie?
No.
Will, have you?
I thought it was an odd placement. I mean, Captain America as Johnny Storm is weird, and he curses a lot, but...
So you have not watched the new Fantastic Four movie?
I saw Deadpool 2.
God damn it, Will.
Oh, damn. Damn, I'm sorry about that one.
Usually it's Paul that I'm mad at.
Yeah, I know. I'm pulling the aggro.
I honestly was like, wow, I haven't been yelled at this episode.
With actual new Fantastic
with your act
Four
of non-violence and causing me to rage.
The last 2 Fantastic Four movies, I've seen neither of them. I never saw Fan Four Stick, and I have not seen the new one.
Okay, so it's not much of a spoiler considering they go over in the trailers. Galactus is in the new movie.
Yeah.
The big bad.
Yes.
Actual
so they
Galactus.
also go over his planet eating in the new movie, right?
Oh, really?
So I find it funny that within a relatively short amount of time, we get 2 movies with giant planet eaters, and they both almost look identical.
No. I've seen clips. Galactus is big, tall, purple man.
No. I'm talking about his planet-eating ship.
Oh.
Okay, so that, I would say, is more of a nod to the original creators of the designs.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just saying, in film, though, we've got 2 movies within 2 years that do practically the same thing.
Dude, it's not that...
Well, what year? Fan Four Stick was this year?
Yeah.
Or not Fan Four Stick. The Fantastic Four.
Yeah, don't call it Fan Four Stick, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You should know better.
Fantastic Four was this year, so it was 2025. This movie was 2023.
Yes, so 2 years.
So, going back to the 90s, do you guys remember War of the Planets?
Oh, the Planet of the Apes?
No, there was a show and toy line called War Planets where the planets.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
No.
Oh, this is the phrase would be deep cuts. I am like Paul kind of remembers. I sort of remember. I don't even know if I really watched it, but
never heard of it.
There was a computer generated animation full on TV show for it at one point, and the big bad.
It looked horrible.
I think first it was the toy line. But the big bad for this was a giant planet-eating, big black swallow a whole planet, pull it apart for its stuff type of thing. Mm-hmm. And they're kind of all just Pac-Man but evil. Like that's what it is. It's a big, round, spherical thing, and one end of it opens looking like a mouth, and there's a bunch of spikes. They kind of all just look like that because they're all basically giant alien versions of Earth machinery used for mining. They're basically just those, but big.
It's called
Monster
War
House,
Planets.
And the gullet of the house is the same thing. It's just rotating, spinning spikes of wood that go in different directions, and it all looks like the thing that we use for real in our world to grind up rocks. They all kind of wind up looking like that because the idea is it's a giant space vacuum cleaner that sucks up a planet and breaks it down.
Wild. Yeah, I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, War. It was either.
It was called War Planets. It was called War Planets. I just looked it up.
War Planets. Yeah. There was a CG
Or,
TV show. I have no idea if you can still find it. There are clips of it on YouTube at least.
Yeah.
And there was a toy line for it. Me and a friend of mine had some of the toys. I had like 3 of them. And then he had like 2 or 3 of them. But
I
he
thought
had
you were like,
big...
I had 3 friends. Sorry.
No, I think I had 5.
It's called War Planet Shadow Raiders was the name of the show. The name of the show was called War Planet Shadow Raiders.
And it was part of the War Planet's expanded universe.
Yeah.
Welcome to toys. And the War Planets, my friend actually had the giant big black one that swallowed the other planets. It looked like a big smooth thing, and it would open in the middle, and it was red because black and red are bad. But anyways, that whole thing, that's kind of what they just wind up looking like. That's like whenever somebody makes one, that's how they make it do that.
Holy shit, hang on. So looking more up about Shadow Raiders,
Mhm.
you know who fucking made this?
Was it
Same.
Mainframe?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I liked it. Oh, thank you, Mainframe. Gifting the childhood.
Mainframe was great.
What in the fuck? How
There
did
you
I
go.
not know about this?
It is a science fiction show, so we could not do it for any of our current podcasts, but my friend, do yourself a favor and at least look up some stuff from it. It's wild and crazy.
That is
I don't know if it's any
bonkers.
good,
Yeah, I'll
but
definitely
it
take a
is
look
weird.
into this.
It only
So that was a
ran
massive
for
tangent
26
about giant
episodes.
planet-eating stuff.
Okay, tangent, but it's still Big Mecha related because of Beast Wars.
It is. Yes, and it is science fiction. They're in outer space, and like I said,
Oh.
the big bad is a giant planet-devouring machine that is basically also a planet itself because of how big it is, and it looks like most of the planet-eating stuff. Unicron, when he's in his planet-eating mode where he's not a giant transformer, looks like a big sphere with spikes, and part of it opens, and then he om-nom-noms on a planet. Galactus pretty much does the same thing, except in that one movie where I think he was a gas cloud, but that was stupid, and then we ignored it. Then there was... so the next thing is... I think we're on the final fight already? Because,
Paul, lead us up into that.
Okay. We... After the death of Airazor, Optimus begs Noah not to destroy the key, and instead of destroying the key and Elena get snatched up by Nightbird and given to Scourge. Scourge unlocks the key, the transwarp key, and summons Unicron to Earth with the giant space laser going straight up, opening up everything, beginning to terraform the planet, apparently, in that section, which made no sense to me. They go to a dead sea, to a desert to do it, and literally it starts terraforming the planet, pulling up lava and everything to power the transwarp key. Scourge pulls perfect supervillain etiquette in turning the device on and walking away.
No, he doesn't. He's standing right next to the transwarp key for the entire fight.
I thought he walked away for like a few minutes to insult everybody.
He turned around.
He turns around, and they make it look like he walked away because I think they just stopped animating them. But he is, for their scale, he is like 10 feet away from the transwarp console for basically the entire fight. It's why they have to spend so much energy trying to draw him away from it so that Elena can interact with the transwarp key and enter the shutdown command. Which again, plot, we're not going to bother. they use the words, "We have to shut it down normally, or it will release the energy of a supernova." But then that doesn't happen. But we're not going to talk about the writers in this movie not knowing what they're talking about.
Before we get into that, there's one thing that you also failed to mention. Both of you. Shame. So, Bumblebee is dead. And...
Oh, no. He's just been napping for the entire film.
Yeah.
No. He's dead. He's dead. Just call him dead.
They say... No. They say energon transfusion might work to revive him.
Yes, revive. He's dead.
Yeah, not from the dead. Although I guess we're arguing like we know the rules of their universe. These rules are poorly defined.
Just say dead.
It goes from them eating energon to survive to them now needing energon to resurrect.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't even know what energon is. In this version, it just glows fucking blue and exists in Peru.
Well, did you laugh when they go like, "Oh my god, raw energon," and I'm like, yeah, the Beast Wars, that was all about raw energon. Remember how they almost died every time they got near it?
That one line was just a reference, but then they immediately follow it with, "Oh, by the way, it's fully inert and basically useless in this form."
Yes.
The only way to activate it would be if we had a massive energy pulse. We just don't have the ability to generate that much energy. And that's it.
Speaking of generating giant pulses with energy.
Ooh, like the Hasbro pulse? Is that what we're referencing?
Oh, you sick son of a bitch. So, Scourge has activated it. Basically, the entire planet can see what's going on here. And a whole lot of shit is going down. The Autobots and the Maximals, they come up to the battlefield. Like, okay, let's do this. Autobots, roll out. And then we get the coolest fucking line delivery. Paul, what does he say? Why must you fail me, Paul?
I was literally about to go, Sean, you little bitch.
No, you fucked it up. You fucked it up so goddamn much. This is why I'm always angry
goes
at you.
Autobots.
No, you don't deserve it anymore. You don't deserve it. Will, what does Primal say?
I assume it's when he and Prime are standing side by side. This is the
No,
line
it's when they're running in.
When they're running in?
Uh-huh. What does Primal say?
Where he finally yells the word. He says the thing.
Yes.
Maximize.
Yes.
And finally transform for the first time in the movie.
For 2.5 minutes.
Yep. And not all of them, because we never got to see the bird one. It's only 2.5 minutes, and then it
and you barely see Cheetor, and you barely see Rhinox.
Yep. And you also, they have no weapons that are not melee. They only have melee. No ranged attacks, which is weird, but it's okay. There's a lot in this movie that's weird. So,
yeah. As we're learning.
the 5 writers. 5. Anyways, they go in, they do their thing, and they start fighting and throwing down, and then Unicron shoots down a bunch of those Terrorcon things. And
the Spider Bots and the Scorponok.
Yeah, he shoots a bunch of them down, and they start, basically, it turns into Dynasty Warriors.
It really does.
It's essentially what happens is somebody was like, "You guys ever play the Warriors franchise?" And somebody on staff was like, "What the fuck is that?"
That's what they needed that 5th writer for, specifically just for this part.
Yeah. That one guy was like, "I really like Warriors games, and I think we should have Warriors." Musos are great. You guys ever play the Gundam Muso?
Oh, shut the fuck up. So,
and
to further illustrate that point, though, it's when they come up against a boss-type character or a named enemy where they actually have to go 2v1 against it.
Yes. Yeah, it's literally a Muso game. They have to go 2v1 to the named characters. The Scorponoks are mid-bosses, so they're hard to fight, but you can take them down.
In 2 shots.
The Terracons are all basically tiny and there to just get blown up. At one point, Optimus gets swarmed by like 12 of them, and he looks more annoyed than anything, and just starts like kicking and throwing them off the bridge.
Yeah.
But my favorite bit is when they actually go against one of the other named bots, and Optimus is like tag teaming with Primal, And
Oh yeah.
they're going against
Yeah.
it, and Optimus is about ready to kill the killing blow when Primal comes in, just takes a rock and starts bashing it to death.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was his flail. That was the enemy's flail. He beat him to death with his own weapon.
That was awesome.
Did
Yeah.
Optimus say
That was
you
so
stole my
fucking
kill?
funny.
He's like,
Yep.
oh man, you stole my kill.
That
I'm
was
like, wow,
mine.
this is just straight up an MMO now. That's what we're doing. We're just playing video games.
Yep. Now,
Kill,
meanwhile,
steal. Kill, steal.
Noah and Elena are on the bridge. They're trying to do what they can in order to get the bridge activated or deactivated, and
They want to turn it off.
and Mirage is causing a distraction against Scourge, and he gets his ass beat.
He is being very distracting though. He is being very distracting.
Well, the problem is that when he gets to the point where his ass is being beat and he can see the humans inside that little grate, he suddenly talks to the humans out loud in front of Scourge. It's like, why would you do that? Why?
And then Scourge immediately clocks that they're underneath and tries to kill them both.
So you have to admit, Scourge is not a dumbass.
Oh no.
No. Scourge
He will
loses.
take all of your failings and you're like, nah, I'm gonna exploit that.
Yeah, like Scourge is not. They don't write him as dumb. They write him as realistically underpowered because he only has it's him and two others versus like 7 or 8 people at this point who are theoretically on his level. Like he's outgunned, and it's weird that Unicron doesn't give him any backup until he's like, dude, come on, and he finally sends him the Scorponok's, which aren't even all that strong.
No.
But yeah, he basically is abandoned by his boss and is having a classic moment of, I do all of this for you and you never support me. And Unicron is like, bitch, say what?
I mean, he almost killed him at the beginning of the movie.
Well, he gets mad at him. And then he essentially is doing the bad guy, I have control over your soul and I will use it if you do not do what I say.
Yeah.
Which actually lines up with Scourge from Beast Wars, Rampage, who was basically used as Megatron tortured his soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that's a good reference, but
So, Scourge sends in more spider bots to take care of Elena. He ends up grabbing Noah, and he's about ready to pop Noah when all of a sudden Mirage jumps in the way and takes the full brunt of his fire.
Oh,
and
he piccolos him so hard.
he really
gets
does. He really does.
And then he basically dies.
Well, almost. That's when you see all the stuff going up in the sky where everybody in the world can actually see what's going on, and they see like little bits of Unicron coming through.
Unicron is breaking through enough of the portal that like he can be seen from half of the planet because he's so big. So.
And that's what causes the giant surge to go throughout the entire world, and then you can see that inner Energon suddenly become reactive.
It sends a massive pulse around the planet.
And you see like this little bit of spark glow within Bumblebee. Oh man, is he gonna live? I have no idea. Let's talk about it in just a second here. And as Noah is just lying there under Mirage's cold, dead corpse, he's talking to his little brother. He was like, "Sonic, you there?" He's like, "Yeah."
Oh, wait, no. Wait, you mix
This
it.
is gonna be the end of us.
You missed it. It was. He goes,
What
"Hey,
I missed?
Knuckles, are you there?" He names.
Oh yeah, he did.
He named Mirage. He gave Mirage the code name Knuckles. And I was looking it up earlier when we were talking about the Sonic and Tails thing.
Yeah, Knuckles is the name of the third character from all those Sonic movies and games. Yeah.
And Knuckles didn't come out. Sonic and Knuckles didn't come out until October of 1994. So
are you saying there's bad time continuity when it comes to Sonic and Knuckles?
I don't think it matters. I'm just saying.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, I'm just saying it. They at least kept it in the same year.
It is a cute nod from the little brother that he sees and accepts Mirage and puts him as the third character in those games. Like it's those three are the trio, and he sees Mirage as the third part.
Yeah,
it's very heartwarming and cute that they do that. I like the way they put that together.
So Elena, in the meantime, is trying to fight off the spider bot that came after her. She knocks it into the lava. while almost losing herself, or the other thing that she needs to deactivate the transwarp.
Yeah, and her backpack with the notebook
and
in it.
then after talking to his brother, Mirage does wake up and goes like, "Hey, yeah, great story, guys. I'm not out yet, but I need to go to sleep. So in the meantime, I'm gonna do something for you." And that's when he starts going to pieces, literally.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the coolest moments, yet also looks really dumb because of what you pointed out earlier, because of the fucking face.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it is really cool.
Weird. The idea is cool, and the way that they put it together is cool. But yeah, his face just looks weird and out of place.
So basically, Noah becomes Mega Man.
Noah becomes Mega Man.
Samus.
Yeah.
He becomes Samus.
Okay.
Mega Man.
All right. I looked
He
it
gets
up.
jets on his back. He can jump. He can run. He's completely covered in armor. And Mega Man is a robot. Samus is just wearing a suit.
I looked it up.
Tomato, tomato.
I thought when I originally saw it. Yeah.
Really?
When
X and Mega Man are two different robots, right?
Yeah, extremely.
Shut the fuck up. Let Paul talk. Let him
Extremely
speak so I
different.
can yell at him.
No, that's a very important. You do know that X and Mega Man are two different things, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
But
that's why he
yeah.
has two folders on his desktop. Duh.
Okay. Yes, I had to double check.
I don't know how to respond to that.
I was not going to touch that. Just like I wouldn't look into those folders. I did look into it because when I first saw it, I originally thought
I did look into those folders.
No, I looked into this because when I first saw it, I thought when I first saw the scene, I thought what Mirage collapsed into reminded me of the very first G.I. Joe movie, the Accelerate suits that they wore.
Yeah.
And
that reminded me of that heavily after the movie was over. My brain went, I think I see the lines that somebody was drawing.
Yeah.
So there's two different lines here. It's actually power armor that showed up in the G1 show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually
Spike
in the
wore
movie. But also, they do the same thing in Transformers Energon. You remember the character that was voiced by Amuro Ray?
Oh, wow, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wore the same thing.
Dude, cool.
So it's a callback to both of those things.
Okay. But,
yeah. It's neat.
Also, that armor was hella intuitive. And
yeah, it's Mirage powered.
Yeah.
Yeah, arguably it's powered by half the brain of an alien robot. Yeah. Like, he just has to put it on and it will kind of react to him. Because Mirage, theoretically, based on what they show in the movie, is basically unconscious. And this is just his physiology and, like, part of his brain, if you want to call it that. They're alien robots. Part of him is, like, there. But he doesn't speak at all in that robot suit mode thing. He doesn't, like, there's no AI. He's not having the talk with Jarvis type of thing. That's not how it works. It's just a suit of power armor. And he doesn't actually openly, like, talk to it. It doesn't respond to him. It's just power armor, technically.
Guys, I just realized we're going on longer than the actual movie itself, so I'm going to try to wrap this up as soon as possible.
Yeah, go ahead. You finish it off. Because
All right. So he gets into the exosuit, and then he tries to take on Scourge, and he actually holds him off pretty well. That's when Bumblebee comes in with the really fucking dope comeback scene where they actually play Don't Call It a Comeback. And he just skydives from stratosphere, and he does like a downward spiral, basically trick shot against every single thing that comes his way, and that's when he fucking destroys Nightbird. Oh god, it's such a wonderful scene. If you watch anything, watch that.
Bad for Nightbird. Nightbird got wrecked.
I think that's right when you texted me, "Oh, poor Nightbird."
I think, yeah, actually, I think that's what happened.
And so he comes in, and then he's like wrecking shit with everybody. Optimus comes in, and he's like, "All right, Scourge, you're mine." And then they actually have a pretty cool brawl. But it looks like that it's still going to be a losing battle because they just keep sending in more and more reserves from the Terracon army. That's when Optimus finally not Primal, but the other one goes ape shit against Scourge, and that's when he does his points of penetration against him. Fucking destroys him in the lava, and then rips off the insignia, which I don't like the line that he gives after this, where he goes like, "And this is for a friend of mine," or "This belongs to a friend of mine."
Yeah, this
or
belongs
some shit
to
like
a
that. I'm
friend of
like,
mine.
Yeah.
I didn't like that line. It just didn't seem...
Really?
It just didn't seem right. I felt like he could have said something different.
This sounds like me talking about Avengers with the line, "I am Iron Man," which should have been, "I am invincible."
No, because if they said "I am invincible," then they would have cut to the Invincible title.
Yeah. No,
Really?
the original line was
Years
supposed...
before that show was even in production.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Apparently, the "I am Iron Man" was a third option. There was two others. There was "I am." First one was "fuck you," and then that was the one that James Gunn wanted to do, and then the "I am Iron Man."
But Jon Favreau was the writer and director.
Yeah, but he
So why
did
would
get...
James Gunn have anything to do with that?
Because Jon Favreau asked all the other directors who were involved what would they prefer. Like, he asked for insight about it. The Russos...
Why would he go to James Gunn about anything when he's not even part of the MCU until way later?
He was a part of the MCU before that.
No, he wasn't.
The Guardians of the Galaxy movies came out before...
Guardians of the Galaxy came after Iron Man 1.
No, I'm talking about "I am Iron Man," the Avengers.
I'm talking about
Oh my gosh, are you
when he
freaking
snaps
stupid?
his finger.
You didn't make that... you didn't make that... Alright, fuck all
Why
of this. I don't
else?
care anymore. I need to finish this goddamn podcast.
Okay. All right.
You're both making me mad.
Okay. Everyone knows the "I am." All right. No, fine. The song that plays
Shut the
as
fuck up.
the
Anyways.
song that plays while the song that plays while that big final end fight is called "On My Soul," which was the best choice for that fight scene. But
Yeah.
and it was Optimus doing
I hate
that.
when you do this.
Go ahead. No, fuck it. It was a good fight scene. I do enjoy the fact that they just they didn't hold up to what they should have done, and letting Optimus survive how he did, needing Noah and Bumblebee to pull him out, felt kind of like they were forcing Noah into it. I feel like they should have...
No, bullshit, because the way that they actually pulled that off by having... Okay, first off, you didn't even explain the situation. They kill Scourge, they end up deactivating the bridge, and then on top of that, as soon as they deactivate the bridge, it ends up becoming a giant suckhole, like a giant vacuum, and everything is being pulled in, so everybody tries to get away, but Optimus is stuck on the bridge, and he's trying to hold on, and he can't, so that's when Noah comes in with his power suit, and he just holds on to him, and he was like, "Till all are one." How can you not love that? God, Paul, you are a piece of shit.
I think it's just that I'm not a real Transformers fan.
Apparently not. That's why I don't know why you're here.
Fake fan.
Anyways,
I've never said I was. I've never said I was a Transformers fan. Have I ever said I was one?
Sure, Sean has called you a Transformers fan, and that's why he's mad at you.
Yeah.
Because you are not living up to either of the designations.
I'm not a Transformers fan.
anyways, they go till all are one, and then Bumblebee comes in and helps them out, and then they all get away happily. And then you get this giant scene where they're all doing like field shots, and you see how big Cheetor is, and you're like, "Oh man, that's a cool bot right there. I wonder what he does or what he sounds like. I don't know. Maybe if I paid attention at the beginning of the movie, I probably would have heard him." And then we get into the epilogue, which I thought was really funny because they go, "I am Optimus Prime," all the same shit that you normally hear at the end of every movie. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden you get Noah goes like, "I am Noah Diaz." I'm like, God damn it.
That was pretty good.
That was
Wow,
really funny.
You actually kind of earned that. Congrats. Oh,
And
then the biggest...
Will get us to the end. Get us straight to the end.
So the
I don't
biggest
trust Paul
surprise
anymore.
reveal is the interview at the end where he's talking to a guy and the guy's super even toned, and then, oh, what's this? This scene lasted longer than 5 seconds because this guy works for shadowy government organization that knows all the shit that went down. And then he starts being weird for a Transformers movie because the government is never nice in any of the Babers movies. They're basically just evil, like cartoonishly evil. They're terrible. They're awful. And this motherfucker's sitting there going, "You saved the world, so we're gonna like completely pick up the bill for your little brother's health care. Totally fine. By the way, I'm gonna offer you a job. Also, on top of doing that." And then he's just like really nice and really even, and I'm like, why is this dude being nice? I was waiting for him to like know to leave the room and for him to like pick up a phone and be like, "The bait has been given. Now we have to," and just like go evil or some shit. Never happens because he turns over the business card at the end after the guy walks through the fucking wall into a like secret Air Force base out of nowhere, and I'm like, how big is the fucking building you're in?
Yeah.
You didn't see that, Noah. What the hell is happening right now? But anyways, the he walks out of the room. Noah flips it over and it says G.I. Joe. And I was like, oh, they're like the only nice government agency.
With
the
lasers.
Joes are soldiers and
When I
heroes.
saw that part in theaters, everybody in the entire theater was like,
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
That's genuine reaction because in Transformers, there is a shit ton of comic book crossover between the G.I. Joe and the Transformers universe. And they have a bunch of cool-ass stories. 100% go look them up if you haven't. I've heard snippets. They're very cool because there's a whole bunch having to do with like characters getting stranded on Earth and they wind up like working alongside the Joes and stuff or like around them, and just all sorts of cool shit happens. But that's really neat. The idea that they were going to bring back the Joe live action universe along with this now revived Transformers universe would have been awesome. Again, none of that is going to happen anymore because we can't have nice things.
I also don't trust Paramount anymore, but that's because of all the stuff that's going on recently, and that's really political, and we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
No, we won't. But and if we're being totally honest, we talked about this, I don't know if it was on this recording, but real quick, Warner Brothers is fucking up for sale, and that is insane.
Yep.
They are 100-year-old pillar of movies, like movie history. Movies are a very recent thing. Warner has been there since the beginning. The idea that they're fucking up so bad that they are legitimately up for sale, shit's weird, man. I don't know what's going on. Every year, everything is changing, so the whole landscape is just really up in the air. I hope that we get more cool Transformers stories. I hope that we get more attempts at live action, because when Michael Bay took a step back and wasn't in the director's chair, I think these two movies show a lot of potential for a very good crossover of the colorful, happy cartoon universes and then a live action version of those. I just think that they were a good mix. Bumblebee, I think, did it better. This one had a lot more going on. But I also know that this movie was delayed because of COVID and a bunch of other shit, so there's a reason that there's 5 writers. There's a reason that there's a lot of confusing crap in it. There's a reason they say the words, "If we break the stone, it'll blow up like a supernova." Then they proceed to break the stone, and it like makes
It
a
implodes.
large explosion, but like it's fine. Like a supernova would delete the planet Earth and most of our solar system. Like that's what a supernova would be, and this thing didn't do shit. But anyways,
my guess is that the reason it didn't happen was because of the fact that it's still in the middle of the Unicron transwarptation or whatever you want to call it, where he was actually in the process of going from wherever he was to where Earth was. He wasn't fully there, and so I think because of the energy that was being spent doing that lessened the blow.
The energy that it was pushing into the actual tunnel wasn't being held by the stone. Therefore, when you broke it, it released energy, but it didn't release all of the energy, which would have just deleted Earth.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's very good. I would have loved to see a live action G.I. Joe Transformers movie. That sounds fucking awesome. It would have been really cool. Not gonna happen, but it would have been really cool.
I still have hopes that it does, but the hopes are dwindling, especially
Yeah.
considering that, if Bay is going to end up coming back. I don't we don't
Yeah.
need that.
I also don't think that he's going to make. I honestly don't know if he'll just make the same, because they're of a time. I don't think that the Bayverse Transformers movies would even remotely pull the market the way they used to. So
Nope.
I also don't know if he wants to make a movie like that anymore, or if he wants to make something else and like
He
he'll
asked
co-direct
them
with
to
someone.
do the new movie.
Yeah, but it's
Like, they didn't ask
Bay.
him.
He
He asked
comes.
them.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, but
but
also it's been a passion project for him. Like he
yeah.
produced the last two. He loves the Transformers as live action. He really like wants to keep going. He stepped in, I think, because after what happened there and after Transformers 1 essentially bombing, they after those two things happening, he stepped in to be like, "Hey, hey, hey, don't abandon this as a concept. Trust me." I think it's him trying to regain control to, in his mind, right the ship. But
Mhm.
I don't know if he's going to go right back and do a bunch of horny, disgusting, male gaze versions of the Transformers and weird shit in them. Like, I don't know if he's going to do that again.
I don't know, but he has a bad track record across almost all of his movies regarding that. So don't know.
Yeah, he makes them for horny teenage boys.
I mean, look at The Island.
No,
Look at Pain and
okay.
Gain.
It's
It's all.
it's
Okay, yeah, but Pain and Gain is about a bunch of roided out bodybuilders on a beach, like
It still
stealing
all
shit.
felt the same.
but okay. At the
Well,
moment,
they're people.
Bad
at
Boys.
the
I
yeah,
I
at the
don't like that.
moment, Josh Cooley has been signed on to do the Transformers GI Joe movie. This is according to Screen Rant. So it's possible it's
Really?
supposed to happen, but it's also saying that production must start by 2029. So there's no
2029.
yeah,
Must
that's
start, not
must
release.
start
Must
by
start.
2029. So
So
we
Well, I have
haven't
no faith.
they,
yeah,
yeah, that shit's
there's
not
no
happening.
yeah, there it's one of those things where they were saying that they originally were planning on a 2026 release, but there's so much going on between Paramount, Skydancer, and Bay issues
That
going on that they don't.
We're
that
not
was
going to
one
get
thing
into
I
that
noticed.
because,
Yeah,
again, that's a whole thing. That's a lot to go through, and we
yeah,
don't need to get into that.
yeah. That
I did
mm,
notice there was like 4 or 5 companies at the front of this movie, which made me think that they were having trouble like getting it off the ground. Because when you have to go to that many different places to get funding, and they all wind up in the front of your movie, it made it feel like an indie flick, which was weird.
It really did. But, guys, we're almost at 3 hours, and I kind of want to end. So, with that being said, did you both enjoy this movie despite its problems? If you were to rate it 1 out of, or anything out of 5, what would you rate it?
um, I would give it a 4 out of 5 Energon score.
I'll take it. Will?
I would give it all 4 pieces that are left of Nightbird out of 5.
Wow. Wow.
The, it's honestly still good. It has a lot of issues, but again, like, yeah, it didn't do good, and I think that just comes through. But no, it's still good. Like, it's worth a watch. It's not too long. It's just over 2 hours. It's not like 2 hours 48 minutes, and you're sitting there going, "How does a Transformers movie need an intermission? What's happening?" It's long, but stuff happens and all that. It's still the only live action version we're ever going to get of Beast Wars. It's a fun and interesting version of those characters. A pretty solid continuation of the last movie, and giving us more of a glimpse into like what could have been for that universe. It's very colorful, very fun, and yeah, the Mirage Noah like dynamic is probably the most fun thing you'll take away from the movie, because they do play off of each other very well, despite probably 90% of it being each of those actors alone in a room, essentially. Noah not being in there as Pete Davidson reads his lines, and Pete Davidson being in a sound booth, and then his voice going through a warper. So they play off of each other very well. It's fun. There's a lot going on. I think they call this the movie has heart. I think that's what they'd call it.
It's fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, I would definitely have loved to see where it was going to go after this.
So I'm gonna rate it a Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and half a Shadow.
So 3 out of 5.
What do you got against Keanu?
3.5 out of 5. So I'm gonna echo everything that Will just said, but I'm gonna say what takes it out for me is one, all that stuff regarding things that you can pick apart and how it kind of just really does fall apart. That really takes it out for me.
5 seconds, everything falls apart.
But the half a point is the visuals. Like I said, it's a really beautiful movie. Like, it does look good, but it, for me, I know that you didn't see it, but a lot of it for me where, like, you can tell where the CGI just stands out compared to everything else, and I'm like, this just looks weird compared to Bumblebee, which had a substantially lower budget and still looked way better. So it's a 3.5 out of 5 for me.
Very fair. Very fair.
The biggest thing to take away from this movie is the fact that it has rewatchability. It's a fun movie. There's a difference between a good movie and a fun movie you don't hate going back to watch.
Right.
I recommend still this one and Bumblebee, both rewatchable compared to the Bayverse
any Bayverse movie.
And it's not...
They have their moments, but the Bayverse movies are always just moments. Both of these films, totally worth a rewatch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like how, when we were younger, the only way to see a live-action mech movie or giant robot movie was to watch this. Or go back to watch some old stuff that was done with stop motion.
Yeah.
Speaking of mech movies
now, but you would still pick both of these because they're good.
Speaking of mech movies, tune in next time for when we watch Transformers: The Triple X Parody.
I was not about this.
No, that's not happening.
Does not make me feel comfortable.
Let's see how you can work your way around a wrench. Anyways, guys, it was fun.
You dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
It was fun. Thank you for listening to our special, this really long special, which will be hopefully shorter after editing. This has been another episode of Big Mecha But Not Huge. I would do the normal title shout, but it is after 11 o'clock, and I don't want to piss off my neighbors. So remember, Big Mecha But Not Huge, where we talk all things mecha, mecha-related, or mecha-adjacent. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky. I will also be posting a link in the YouTube video where you can join the Discord if you like. Follow us on all things, like, subscribe, you know the deal. Anyways, have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Till all are one.
You gotta do it too, Will. Come on, just do it.
Till all are one.
That's right.